Hello, welcome to One to the Force, the Star Wars podcast. My name is Phil, of course. I'm joined as usual by Dave and George. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
And of course, this isn't just a regular show. This is rather a special occasion. For those of you who are unaware, today, May 19th, marks the actual 20th anniversary of The Phantom Menace coming out. Now, Dave and I, of course, are old enough to remember seeing it in the cinema. George, age?
Wow. So it came out in America in May. I was 2. It came out in England in July. I was 3. So I guess we can add really one onto there. No, I was 3 when I saw this. I was supposedly taken to the cinema to watch it 6 times. The rest is kind of history of what I turned into. Yeah, I don't remember it. I remember like a glimpse. I don't know what screening it was. I remember the 3D release. Couldn't tell you about expectations back then. I was an excited 3-year-old.
Well, I was an excited 8-year-old at the time. And I do remember I actually had the novelization read to me before the film came out, so I kind of knew what was happening before I went into it. But luckily enough, I didn't really remember much of it, so of course I still went in my mind being completely blown. But I had remembered from the couple of years previous seeing the original trilogy for the 20th anniversary re-release and wanting more Star Wars and wishing there was more. So I was very amped up, and I was probably the right age for when it did come out.
So I was 20 when it came out, re-released. So yeah, I was like you guys were just tiny little children. But no, I worked in the cinema at the time. Remember getting great seats because the booking at that point, people had to come in to book. There was no online booking. People actually had to queue for a midnight open of the tickets, and I remember that people actually came for tickets on midnight. But being on the box office, you got the best seats before anybody else bought them. I don't know if that's allowed still. But yeah, so I went in with massive expectations, waiting for new Star Wars, and then this film came on.
Indeed, over the years, it's had its fair share of controversies and fair share of hate, which now we've had the sequel trilogy and now the time has passed, I think it's kind of grown up into the audience that saw it when we were young has grown up and it's now getting the love it deserves. Of course, George, you've met Ahmed Best to play Jar Jar at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, Ahmed Best is really nice. I'm happy he got here for the anniversary. He's doing shows and whatnot. He's a great guy, but it's going to be interesting talking about this film when we get to cues, when we see things, see how it looks. I've got my setup all ready for this. It's going to be interesting because we've never really spoke properly about prequels in depth, so it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a fun 2 hours. So if you're ready to join us, I think we'll all get queued up and we'll be ready to go.
Indeed. So, just as with the Rogue One commentary we have done in the past, I'm going to get everyone queued up. So, for those of you who are watching back at a later date, and for those of you who are watching now, make sure you have your Blu-ray, your DVD, or your online version, be it on iTunes legally, or however other means you are watching it. Have it queued up at 0000. So, all the zeros across the board. No logos on screen, no nothing, literally right at the start, and I will queue you up right now. So, in 3, 2, 1, play. And of course, now this is a logo we can actually see with Star Wars again after all these years.
It's bizarre to see a 20th century logo now. It really is.
I'm used to the whole Lucasfilm, like, here's Lucasfilm, here's on time to go, here's your film, go. Now you forget how great it was.
What I will tell you all now, if you're listening back, I'm currently probably the only one who actually has the sound of the movie playing in my ear. So I'm getting the John Williams score, whereas these guys are kind of probably watching it for the first time without John Williams music behind it, just because obviously copyright things. So
yeah, we don't want to. I mean, for anyone that cares, my laptop, you're not on the desktop, I'm on the laptop, is approximately 2 foot away from the TV, and I've got a 5-to-1 surround sound. We were doing sound checks, and on volume 3, you could still hear
it. Yeah, it was playing really clearly. You could have listened to the Phantom Menace. So, I mean, I remember being a kid, and I obviously not a kid. I was 20-year-old. As I said, when this episode 1 thing kicked in, the music kicked in, the Phantom Menace had kicked in. The name by that point, it kind of settled with people because I think it was a much thing of derision even when that came out. When we even at my age, like, oh, Phantom Menace, it doesn't sound right. After the hearing the other movie titles, but it kind of, as soon as the music started playing and that crawl goes up, it took you back to such a place of like, oh, we're back in Star Wars.
Indeed, I mean, so for me, at the age I was, being 8 years old, I had seen, of course, as I said, the original trilogy for the re-release, and I didn't have Star Wars after that again. It was like, for me, yes, the gap was only 2 years. I can't imagine what it was like for you, Dave, but for me, that was a long enough gap as was. I didn't realize they're going to make more. I didn't realize, from what I was told at the time. So these are old. These are old films. I couldn't kind of fathom how my parents had already seen them when I'd only just come out the cinema myself. But yeah, so when this came out, I was quite excited for it. And yeah, being as George Lucas said at the time, it's aimed more at kids anyway, like a younger audience. So there was this kind of expectation of what it was going to be. And of course, now we have our first beautiful model shot that we luckily are now getting again.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to talk about when you guys said about the crawl and what it was like was when Dave said Phantom Menace the title. I felt like the Force Awakens, when that's the Force Awakens, I was like, it sounded a bit weird for a Star Wars title. And then when the crawl started, you forgot anything and everything.
Yeah.
And I think when you look back at, well, as a 1 to 9 now, the Phantom Menace as a title is actually one of the smartest ones, because who is the Phantom Menace? Is it Maul?
Well, it's Sidious.
This is the thing.
It's
It's interpretation, because it was always Sidious. But I'm guessing when this came out, it was actually, people thought probably it was Maul, not Sidious.
Yeah, definitely the way it was played. Yeah,
and it's like Last Jedi played as Luke, but actually it's Rey.
And our introduction to our two main Jedi.
We visit ambassadors. I mean, it's one of those things when I first watching it, you go, okay, we get Jedi, we actually get more than just Luke and Obi-Wan. You get to see, of course, this is young Obi-Wan, but get to see more of the Republic. I was excited to see more Jedi and more lightsabers. I think being a kid, that's kind of what you want to see. And now being 28, that's kind of what I want to see.
I just love Ewan McGregor and Qui-Gon Jinn.
I think as two of the characters that were picked to be brought in this movie, because obviously Star Wars came out with so many unknowns that they actually picked actors, I guess, still went massively. No, Liam Neeson probably was more than most, but Ewan McGregor was just such a good pick for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And this was off the back of Trainspotting, right? I don't think he'd done anything too big beforehand.
Had A Life Less Ordinary come out yet or not?
I'm sure.
That was 98, so I think it had.
Yeah, so it might have just have come out.
Yeah.
And then you think as well that he's the nephew of Wedge Antilles.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the interesting thing, though, that of course all these prosthetics we're seeing now on screen, they're more advanced now, but back then that was kind of revolutionary with the eyes blinking, the lips kind of moving and stuff. They brought it a long way from episode 1 to episode 3 by the time they got to Revenge of the Sith, and now what they can do is incredible. Like 9 Nums animatronics he has in his face are just incredible. So to see it here it's just nice to see before they went all blue screen and green screen.
Wait, I thought the blinking was CGI added in the Blu-ray cuts.
Nope.
No, not as I don't know actually. I don't know the call on that. I know obviously when you see the beginning, the making of film, which is amazing. If you haven't seen that, go watch that as well after you've seen this or heard this. But the fact they had to do such big mouth movements with that, with the Gungan, the
Nemoidian.
Yes, Nemoidian head sculpt on just to get that mouth to move. And here we get a beautiful model shot as well.
I'll make it legal. Who doesn't love that?
A model gets blown up next. Yeah. I mean, that's just quite unreal.
What's incredible is that this is on mute, but I can hear it through memory.
Yeah, it does play so well like that, doesn't it?
And now I'm getting flashbacks to the PS1 game. Please say people had that.
Glorious model shot blown up there. It's good that we have it back. It is great they're kind of going back to it.
Wait, hold on. Phil, are you behind us?
I might be slightly behind because I think my subtitles weren't turned on. I had to quickly turn them on, so I'm slightly behind.
So what can I just ask what you guys currently have on screen?
Obi-Wan slaying, Qui-Gon slaying.
Yeah, cool.
I'm slightly behind that, but it's fine.
So one thing, with the eyes. So when they did the Blu-rays, now obviously the prequels I knew best in terms of every shot. I knew the originals, I knew the prequels. With the blinking, I think they enhanced some of it. So on the Blu-ray version, which I'm looking at now, the eyes on the Nemoidians, they're like a darker grain of red. And I think that's something George Lucas had in the Blu-rays. They added more blinking, just like the blinking they put on the Ewoks as well. And you can tell, I think there's some natural, but I think he's CGI'd over the top of them and added even more. But
I just love this. It's so good. Like the amount of prop work that you actually see in these early moments, and you just for the amount of knocking that it's got for the CGI, you're just seeing so many actual sets.
Well, this is the difference between episode 1 and then episodes 2 and 3. Is there's much more CG in 2 and 3 than there was in 1.
I think, yeah, because I mean, episode 2 was the first film to like shoot on digital. 3 was the first film to be fully shot on digital, right? Episode 1 was still real, and there was still props. I mean, you see the documentary which you guys spoke about when Spielberg visits. They've got like the AAT tanks. You're kind of there, like, wow. And then gets to Attack of the Clones. Oh, here's a CGI armor. Now, I can hear it through somebody's. I just wanted to say that.
That's probably mine.
Yeah, as I say, I've got headphones plugged in, so definitely not mine, sir.
No, mine.
It was Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
So, like,
that's right. They'll give us
one thing I'm intrigued by is when obviously I can remember everything about The Force Awakens, announcing the film, announcing the cast, announcing the title, trailers, all of it. How do you remember, like, Dave, how and when they announced the cast for Phantom Menace?
I don't even remember how they announced the cast. The first thing I remember for me was the trailer.
Now, you see, I do remember earlier than that. I actually have upstairs newspapers. My grandfather saved them for me. It's from the Sunday Times. I actually have the announcement of Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson.
So, yeah, first thing I got was the trailer, because it was on Meet Joe Black, and you got people come to the cinema to see Meet Joe Black just to see the trailer.
Did you do?
Working there at the time, I was in pretty much every screen to go watch it over and over again.
So you probably had the best spot of everyone.
That was great, yeah.
And here's the fun game. Is it... So with all the shots you get of Padme or Queen Amidala, half of them are Keira Knightley, half of them are Natalie Portman. So, like, as a kid, I used to get,
which is
like,
which.
I mean, you can tell.
Queen Amidala herself.
As I think I've managed to get to the right spot now, so I think we're all good. So, do you think she suspected an attack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, people say this is
because all communication must stop.
Yep, I'm perfect. Yeah.
The legendary Seer Bibble. No one.
And
Captain Panaka. I love that Captain Panaka started doing conventions this year. Like,
yeah,
he didn't do anything ever. He didn't want to come back in 2 or... I mean, Captain Typha. You think about Captain Typha, he's actually just an awful version of Captain Panaka, and they clearly just couldn't get him to come back for the other prequel films, which is quite sad.
I mean, look at these sets.
It's Italy, right, as well?
Yeah, this was... is it Lake Maggiore?
It's Lake something, and I don't know. But this is a real place, and it seems so, like, realistic as well. You know, like you see, like, Attack of the Clones, which is like watching a computer game, whereas this, at least you're in real sets for the majority of it.
Yeah, and of course, what wasn't shot on set and was shot in studio was the last Star Wars film until episode 7 to be shot in England.
Yeah, they went to Australia.
Yeah.
She was a
great pick for Queen Amidala.
She was fantastic. Right age, right experience, level of experience. Not too experienced, but not too naive. It was she did it perfectly.
I mean, she was, what, 17 when they filmed this, Natalie Portman?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you think it's crazy. Like, she'd done Leon, she'd done Heat, 2 of, like, the best films of the genres.
Yeah.
And then here you go, here's Star Wars.
And then she goes and appears in Thor: Dark World, and no one ever hears from her again.
One thing I don't like in the Blu-ray, they added in loads of, like, CGI droids, like, just in random background scenes.
Yeah.
And it's really distracting. I don't know if it's because of the knowledge of seeing as a kid, remembering frames, or if it's the fact that it's bad CGI, like, and it doesn't make sense.
No, I also like the... Sorry, go on, Dave.
No, I was going to say, that's probably where the first part where it starts, the CG doesn't hold up very well. These animals now running through the shot with being chased by the tanks.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon looks great running to the water, but the rest of the animals kind of don't hold up.
Jar Jar there, your first shot of Jar Jar, he does stand out a little bit of just... I mean, he was the first full CG character, but it holds up fairly well.
It's more... I feel that on the close-ups and on the full bodies, it's more obvious.
Yeah.
On the close-ups, it's where it's great. It's like Gollum, right? You can spot a Gollum from a mile away.
Yeah.
When it's a full body audience, you get to the close-ups and he integrates. I think that's what motion capture. And I think as this film gets better, it's more the locations where Jar Jar is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree. But it's what I also find interesting is the character development from episode 1 to episode 2 and episode 3 of the droids. Because in this, they're much more serious. They're much more, well, robotic, really.
They're not paid as
Whereas,
much for laughs in this
yeah,
as they are then later down the line. And
That's-
certainly, you got things like Clone Wars and Rebels. They're played completely for humor rather than
the B1s are completely comical. Yeah,
Mm.
they leave the B2s, the tactical droids, and everything else to be the more serious kind of, sluggers.
So we've got Jar Jar running after Qui-Gon Jinn here. So your
Yeah.
thoughts, really, let's go early doors. What were your thoughts on Jar Jar when you first encountered him?
I'm gonna be honest. I was 8. I thought it was hilarious. I genuinely thought at the time he was hilarious. I never really got the full hate for him. Purely because I was the right age for him at the time. For me, he was that comic relief. I loved everything else around it, but he was funny.
George?
I had a very interesting take on Jar Jar as a kid. I didn't dislike him. I didn't love him. I just kind of liked him. Like, he was like Padme. He was like any other hero. He was a part of the ensemble, and I didn't mind that. And I think what stood out for me is as a kid growing up, I absolutely adored Qui-Gon Jinn. And then you get to the next one, which you get Anakin, who I loved as well. And to me, like as a kid, I didn't understand. At the start, not people saying Jar Jar. I don't know people dislike the prequels till I was about 12. And that was really hard for me to take. Like, it was like when you discovered the internet. It's like what George Lucas famously said. You didn't know anyone disliked the prequels until you went online.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I genuinely, I remember, I think it was more when I got Twitter, more or less. And when Disney would come back, I was like, oh, there's a lot of people airing nasty opinions about the prequels. And it kind of stuck. And again, I just go back to this, these underwater shots.
Yeah.
It's some of the CGI holds up so well.
Yeah,
Some of
absolutely.
it doesn't.
I do love that the Jedi have these utility type belts back in the day where they had things like, oh, mouth, yeah, we're definitely going to go to war today, and here's my shark repellent, and it's like Batman 66 belts.
The bat spray.
But that looks stunning as you come up towards
It does,
the
And
underwater
the
one.
Gungan
Yeah.
And it's the soundtrack with John Williams as well.
Which is beautiful. The strings that are playing right now are amazing.
It's like the world building score. Like for every planet, you can go across all the Star Wars films. There's almost a theme for everything. But then you got like the Ben Burt sound effects as well, which come back into it. I always love the doors. Like I just remember them as a kid.
They dry off super quick in this as well. There's
They do, but it's probably something in the atmosphere that adds a draft, some internal heating or something,
But it's like you've never seen, like in Star Wars, we've never had something like this level, sort of like scenery wise. We'd been settled to Death Stars, like corridor sort of things, and then Endor and Hoth, but something that looked like this, this was completely alien, even in Star Wars.
And this was the first planet with more than 2 geographical settings, right?
Locations, yeah.
Like, because it was always, here's a snow planet, here's a forest moon, here's a sand planet, here's a tree planet.
Here's a desert.
Yeah, now you've got different cities within that place, so yeah, they're actually extending.
And of course, now
Brien,
we have
blessed.
that. When I must admit, I saw him a couple of years ago, and I asked him what it was like to work with George Lucas. Is at the end of it, I've got time for 4 or 5 questions. I said, I was the first. I was like, what's it like to work with George Lucas? And he gave a 20-minute ramble. I'm sorry, I've only got time for one more question now. I rambled on it there. It's perfectly fine. He talked about his experiences working on it and working with it. Originally, he was supposed to be Quinlan Voss, which I found very interesting.
Who was meant to be Quinlan Voss?
Brien Blessed, he was supposed to be Quinlan Voss, but when George Lucas interviewed, he went, no, I've got something much better in mind for you, and we ended up with Boss Nass as we know him today.
I love Boss Nass. I've got mad respect for him. Why isn't there a 6-inch black series of Boss Nass?
Boss Nass with a wobbly jowl at the bottom. So if you shake the figure, the jowl goes, that's what I want.
We need a bobblehead. No, we just need one the Funko Pop of Boss Nass.
I just remember, like, as a kid, like, in these scenes here, like, why are all of the other Gungans got normal faces and he's the only chubby one?
The only one who looks like that, yeah.
Yeah, like, but no, I love him. He's a great, well, I don't want to say great character. He's like an iconic character, I guess you could say, more so than anything. But what made it more amazing for this is that I never understood this was a Jedi mind trick for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I love though is just what's a bongo? It's like a transport, I hope. It's just that kind of, it is that light comical edge to it that's also kind of that kind of relationship between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, that master and student, that we know what Obi-Wan becomes. We know how what happens between him and Anakin, but just to see that relationship, I still quite like it. Seeing them on screen was fun, but it's the relationships, the characters, the actual human side of it. It's kind of interesting.
And is this really where Liam Neeson as well? I think he propelled his career quite well from Star Wars. A lot of actors, I think, took a big step from it. I think the only person who probably didn't was Portman, who said she couldn't get work, but she'd been in one of the biggest movies of the decade. But it's just amazing. But yeah, definitely Liam Neeson from this stepped in massively from.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. The subtitle just said loud blubbering.
Yes, it does.
Excellent.
I think with these, I mean, with Liam Neeson's an interesting one because obviously, there's this that's celebrating its 25th anniversary this year or just gone. It's like, he was in theory like wow spectacular at the time. Obviously, for me, again, 3-year-old, I didn't know him. To me, he was always Qui-Gon Jinn. I was like, oh my god, Qui-Gon Jinn's in this Taken film. Qui-Gon Jinn's in Batman. Qui-Gon Jinn's in Narnia. Like, that's what I always felt like because he's like Ewan McGregor. Like, in all honesty, as bad as I studied film, follow film, I've not actually seen massive amounts of Ewan McGregor films. Like, I've seen a lot of the main ones, but none of there's simply Adam Driver. I've seen like half the indie films, half the other ones.
Yeah.
It was fascinating, my insight, like, with this franchise growing up, because again, you're a kid, and it gives such like different opinions, especially when I'm talking with you guys. That we've got these 3 generations of the prequel fans, right? We've got Dave, who went through the originals and was the right age when this came out. Me, who's too young. Phil, who was young but still a good age for this. We've got the 3 variables, I think, of like almost the original trilogy, who watched the special editions and who watched prequels.
See, now is like a 40-year-old man. Jar Jar humor hits well with me. This film is certainly, and the characterization has grown as I've matured.
There's always a bigger fish. You cannot go wrong with that.
Anyone ever feel sorry for the little fish? Because I always did.
It's this bit where he just gets his head ripped off. Just feels harsh.
It's just brutal.
It's like when he catches him, that sound effect is like, oh, what's going on here? And then he just starts making weird fish.
I love the model shots of the Trade Federation control ships. They're just beautiful.
And that comes down to Doug Chang and the team for.
It does. It really does. They are just incredible.
So obviously it's Palpatine.
Yeah, this is the thing. When they had Ian McDowell come back saying, he was playing the other guy. He, apparently he didn't even know. It's one of those things of we'll figure it out eventually, but to see these little seeds starting to grow and to see again, as we'll talk about the title, who really is the Phantom Menace, it is awesome. I love it.
It's all his own game as well.
Yeah, from the start out, it's literally how Palpatine wants this to play out. This is how it's all going to go. I mean, that ship they're sitting in is an actual set, so it's not like it's even. Later on, they would probably be on 3 green chairs, but right now, that's an actual thing they're sitting in.
It is. Again, it is the problem with 2 and 3. Yes, Lucas loved the technology pushing the boundaries, but unfortunately he maybe pushed it a bit too far. That's always going to be up for debate. But in episode 1, of course, there's a lot of model work, a lot of CG kind of intertwined between the 2. I like it.
Also, did he force sleep him? Because
he literally forced sleep him.
No one talks about that, of all the force powers in history, no one talks about force sleeping. And also, where's that big fish keep coming from, man? Hide.
There's always a big fish.
They've got force powers in these that you don't ever see. The force running.
Force run is the one that gets everyone, because then you have it at the end with between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. We'll get to that later. Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old film if you haven't seen it.
The iconic score.
Anyone
have the Legos?
Love it. You can't help but not sing it, even when you can't physically hear. Again, this model shot here, Thebes. This is just stunning. Incredible.
Costume design.
That dress is awesome. The light up eggs. Who needs it? But who knows? It looks cool. And of course, those shots very reminiscent, of course, occupied France. But it's just, I just love it. It's beautiful.
Oh, very sorry. Now, they do say he's offensive, right? Like the voice and stereotypes.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it in Watto more still, if you're talking about stereotypes.
Yeah.
Can we talk about one of the best things George Lucas did was delete the awful deleted scene?
Oh, the bit where they're going over the waterfall.
Yeah, never made sense.
No, it seems like it's just a bit of guffing that you take out of the script. It's not needed for certainly pacing wise. It would have lengthened this scene for no. That doesn't need to be lengthened.
No.
It's like they've tried to get an action beat and thought we need another action beat here, but it was like no, it's playing out nice every time. And
to be fair,
now
though,
I think we are looking at.
He had gone back and had it in.
Are we saying we're looking at Keira Knightley now?
This is correct.
Yes,
amazing.
it's Kieran. Yeah.
How did it go work? It's like, oh, I was in the Amidala Gress. Quick switcheroo. It's like, you just like
there's Portman besides.
She's at the back there. Yeah.
Sophia Coppola is one of the handmaids.
She is, yes.
It's also confusing. It's like McAvoy or Stew. These timelines are so confusing. It's the same. But I do love these shots of thieves as well. It's a stunning visage.
I just think this works really well, and that it's all they're in this place, and it's not a set. That's
it's a location.
Yeah.
It's Italy, right? There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the stuff, all the feed is shot around there. Yeah. Even the battle droids look pretty good.
Well, a lot of those were actually the interchanges between CG and actual practical effects. So that's a practical effect there when you see
the ones falling down. Yeah.
Yeah,
like the walking and things like.
I still love it thrown against the wall. Who doesn't love that?
It's that Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber spin he does just after he chops them down.
Yeah.
What you try to do as a kid, try to learn that skill so much. How did he circle it so precise without it like angling in at your legs?
Yeah.
Well, again, it's that whole discussion when Kylo's lightsaber first got revealed. And I was like, oh, how can you twirl that back? How can you do your fire things? It's a cross guard. You're not going to hit yourself with it. Of course, we do have episode 9 coming out this year. So 20 years after episode 1, we have episode 9. It's very poetic how they managed to kind of get that kind of coming out.
I mean, at least now it's 2 years. But I mean, I know it sounds so weird and miserable, but it was like 3 years to episode 4, 5, 6. Between each was
between
3.
2, I'm happy with that. But we will talk about that on our regular show. So for those of you who are just watching now, we do go live every other Wednesday. Just a little shameless self-plug there. Of course, here we do have, Padme, of course, is on the right, and you have Keira Knightley on the left, so it's Portman and Knightley. But it is, if you know what you're looking for, it's easy to see. If you don't, then it can be easily missed.
It does actually. They are so close, especially with the makeup on. In looks, they picked really well. The first time we'll be in this hangar, but not the last.
No,
Second time's much better.
First time you've seen the Naboo starfighters.
I always loved this scene as a kid. I'm just gonna walk around the back and no one's gonna know. But like, I always like this droid because I never knew if he was trying to figure out if he was just playing dumb.
It feels weird. They're like, does it compute?
Yeah. Wait, you're under arrest. It's so robotic compared to the needless leap that makes just him cool. That's all it is to me.
I love watching Jar Jar. Whenever if you ever have a chance, right? Watch Jar Jar whenever he's in the background to a fight scene. His just reactions to any time someone has lightsaber on, like he's just terrified. And that's just like a testament to Ahmed Best that he's so good. And I just love motion capture. And he was talking at Celebration that George Lucas spotted him and he was doing, I think, theatre.
The legs just walking by themselves is just hilarious.
And the designs of all these ships, obviously the Doug Chang designs, making this such a sleek planet, like this beautiful, like not your Tatooines, not your dirty, messed up starfighters, these really sleek, royal fighters, and the designs are amazing.
I'd love when Jar Jar goes, "Hello, boyos." It's just like, there's all your droids, like, "Hello, boyos." Rick Ollie, the legendary pilot.
I love the half-assed attempt as well to shoot them down. It's just one ship firing. Like, it's fine. We can just use one ship.
They managed to hit the generator in one shot. You cannot hit the rest of the ship for any of that time.
No. Well, the rest of it, they just shoot droids.
Yeah.
You think, of anything they're going to hit, why would you shoot their own thing, their own kind?
And then we got our introduction, our first look at R2-D2 in Phantom Menace. So really the start of the saga. This is our introduction to the droid who knows everything.
It's just an iconic moment of every other droid getting absolutely wiped out of existence.
I must admit,
Yeah.
also, I was wondering how you get ducks in the Star Wars universe. Again, it would be ducks out here. It's like, okay, well, apparently have ducks in the Star Wars universe.
I love how awful Rick is. Like, he doesn't understand anything. He's like surprised at everything.
Yeah.
These droids that we have to repair the ship fixed it.
What
he
is
like-
this madness?
He like questions while making a statement. Like, that
Yeah.
little droid did it? What?
Yeah.
But like, the actual pacing of this is why, I mean, I love Last Jedi, but the pacing, specifically of Phantom Menace, A New Hope, Force Awakens, it's so not quick. I don't want to sound rude, but
No, you're right. It does.
it's the chain of events, and there's no coincidence they're all the first in each respective trilogy. That everyone is meeting not out of you need A to meet B and B to meet C. Obviously, we get that Tatooine, but the pacing of the film is they're meeting out of necessity, not out of script issues. Whereas you get to the next one, Attack of the Clones, like, oh yeah, I forgot to have them in a relationship. I'm just going to do that now.
And here we get the introduction to our second big bad, and the first time we got to see his spiky headedness in all his blue glory at the moment. But we got an introduction of Darth Maul coming up in this scene, which who knew how iconic this character would be when he first appeared here?
It's just here. He just steps out of the shadows, like, hello. Just saying nothing but saying everything at the same time. It's all business.
Was he really that terrifying back then?
I think, of course, this quote, this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Just so many quotes from Newt Gunray. It's just, I absolutely love him as a character.
I just think that Maul, he looked, because of his look, was so iconic, and the makeup, and that, obviously, in the trailer they get, which I think they should never have done. They should never have given that dual lightsaber away in the trailer.
No.
Nowadays, that would be kept.
But then again, the crossguard was kept quiet.
Yeah.
There he is. Everyone knows his name, but no one remembers him. R2-D2.
I love it. It's just there like, you're the real queen. I'm
going to order you around.
I'm definitely going to make you clean and joy.
Really is. Well, I'm in charge. Manual labor comes to you.
It's more the fact that she uses Padme, which is her first name, but it's Queen Amidala, but people should know it's Queen Padme Amidala. No one kind of twigs.
Here's my question. Did Captain Panaka know?
Yes.
He's head of security. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
I always have that intrigue that wait till he gets to that end scene. He looks kind of shocked when he says Anakin, like the best is still Obi-Wan. You're a Gungan, aren't you? It's like, no, you're.
We're from the same planet. Yes, of course I'm a Gungan.
But unlike Ewoks, you actually know what he is. Ewoks never get mentioned in Return of the Jedi. We just knew it.
Just them bears.
Yep.
And still, the CGI for this still stands up so well.
Yeah.
In the scene he's in, and for this being the first time they'd used this level of technology to put a character in a movie, is quite specific and real.
It is indeed, of course. I like the.
Apologies, gentlemen. My sound has randomly turned on. There shall be a court case from Lucasfilm.
For anybody who wanted to know whereabouts we were in the film, that was the screen ship landing.
Yeah. It's a good time for those of you who are not paying attention.
That hyperdrive's just huge. I love that. It just looks like it's in a room and not in an engine.
Yeah.
The hyperdrive unit.
It's a very odd looking engine room, yes.
Like, gentlemen. Also, I love that, like, Padme's costume's like, here, you're the queen, but here's basically a slave. Not slave, but, here's some scrubs so you look like you fit. We didn't know we were going to like, when in the queen's wardrobe did she decide?
It's exactly that. We're going to go to this place where it's a really sandy. Well, definitely might need this outfit. Take that one.
Look, if you're on a ship like that, a consular ship, you're going to have a variety of clothes for a variety of occasions.
It's probably just one of the handmaiden clothes. Like, can I just nab yours for a minute?
Most
yeah.
Here you go. As a kid, I was convinced this was Mos Eisley. I didn't know for about 15 years that this was a different place.
Is it?
Mos Espa?
It's only in. No, it's
yes,
in. Do they say it in this, or did they say in the next one that it's? Mos Eisley on the other side of.
I just remember that there was always Mos Espa pod race. It took me years to clock on.
Of course, yeah.
Because as a kid, it looked...
Oh, the poo step.
That
annoys me. Still, the poo step annoys me. The poo and then the fart in the pod race.
The protocol droid with a very obvious limp as well. If you watch that back, you just notice he's got a very, very obvious limp.
I mean, when you look at these Easter eggs, you've got like the dewback, you've got a bantha, you've got... Oh, I wonder. What? No, that's wrong. Just speak Huttese. Of course it does.
It is Huttese, yeah.
I just love... Have you ever seen the background? They're cleaning a droid. There you go. You can see that.
Yep. Well, yeah, it's unlike 3PO that has to bath for himself.
There's so many like little hidden Easter eggs in these as well. There is a T800 in the... When he walks him out to bargain for the part, there's a T800 skull set in the background.
I was not aware of this.
I'll try and catch it as we go through, Phil, and I will show you where that is.
I mean, even if you look at Solo, you've got the crystal skull in there as well. Like they do like a little reference, don't they?
Only thing that really annoys about the film is Anakin still. The yippies and the...
No, this is part
Are you an angel? No!
Yeah, what are you?
It is very cringy. There's any problem with it. But at the same time, he's a kid, so he's like...
he's like just trying to slip in the DMs of this Princess Leia's come along.
I think he did it every other written.
Everyone, yeah. That's his line. Are you an angel?
Yeah.
Are you an angel? Are
you a pilot? All my life. I'm a pod racer. What if you want nothing?
Yeah.
Not even finished?
And the Hutt clan.
It's just bizarre. Like again, Jake Lloyd, who was before this in Jingle All the Way, and then from this, obviously had the issues that he's had with, which just
derailed his.
It's really unfortunate. With
it's sad because it was a bunch of grown men, abusing a child. Like you get the playground. Like I know he got bullied at school as well. He said.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is it happened again with Kelly Marie Tran. It's a problem.
This is the issue. Like I think with Jake Lloyd, he said at secondary school, like people just used to make lightsaber sounds at him all year round. I mean, you think back to Harry Potter. Emma Watson originally dropped out of uni because people were just making Harry Potter jokes, and obviously that would have affected him. Because I think he did say he binned all of his.
Phil, you're just about to see the T800s in the background behind what?
Yeah, I can see him. That's I was not aware of that.
Is that all of them?
Very cool.
Those skulls are T800s, yeah.
I love this quote. Oh, today we're handwrite that. I'm a Targaryen.
How did he not click on his Jedi? You can tell looking at him.
Yeah.
No money, no pots, no deal.
I love that he's got the even for this. I know it's a CG thing, but the wings flapping and his hair moving is still, I think, is a really that's something some films would miss and wouldn't do that, and it just makes it so perfect for the scene.
Such a good touch, yeah.
Also, it took me about 15 years to realize a pit droid was named because of the pits of like motorsport racing. It took me so many years to clock on.
Really?
I didn't really watch F1 till like 08, 07 time, and I still didn't clock on. It must have been like 2014, 15. I was like,
to be fair, I was watching racing since probably 95, 96. So yeah, I was well aware.
The dialogue on Anakin is just that, and I was glad to meet you too. It is very clunky writing for some of the lines.
No, glad to meet you too's all right. It's yippee and that's so wizard. It's just
like when did wizards exist in Star Wars?
He's an old wizard, lives out by the Dune Sea. Nothing but a crazy old wizard.
Yeah.
They are queasy. I love how there's a dewback always just hanging around the background in all these shots around Tatooine.
Well, once he got them in special edition, he had to have them.
This is one of the scenes I've always hated the most.
Well, the introduction to
whatever that noise is.
Yeah.
I just hate this as a kid. I don't think it scared me; it just creeped me out. That creature.
Yeah.
But I've always loved Sebulba though.
Sebulba is awesome.
Yeah, Bob was awesome.
And now for 2 CGI characters being on the screen, you buy every second of it.
Yeah. The shadows is what really gives it away, then what makes it.
Like this scene where he's on Anakin, that is absolutely perfect.
So I've never read the novelization, right?
Mhm.
I believe that it opens with Anakin and Sebulba. Like, is it in like a different narrative structure to the film, or?
It's been so. I read it, but literally as Phantom Menace came out, it's been so long. I know there's a scene with. Is it with Sand? This might be with a sand person. There's something around that. I'm gonna have to check it out again. But there are differences in the novel that play out behind the scenes of the movie. But yeah, it's been so long since I actually sat down and read that book.
And the book came out before the film, didn't it?
It did.
It did. I had the novelization read to me before I watched the film.
And the soundtrack, which gave away a finale moment as well.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's noble end.
Yep, absolutely. It was just ridiculous. So that came out well before the film as well.
So I used to check soundtracks before I watched films.
Yeah.
I was made aware literally a year before Force Awakens that happened in '99 because I would have looked at the Force Awakens soundtrack and I never ever looked at soundtracks anymore before.
Yeah.
Even if it's, doesn't give anything away, now I'm just a bit on edge.
It's best to just avoid now literally everything once the film's about to come out.
So here's another question. Who's the main character of the Phantom Menace?
You know what? That sped up shot, sorry, annoys me as well. The main character, it's actually a really good call, but you would have to put it firmly. I would put Qui-Gon Jinn as who I would say was the lead character of the movie without everyone else's supporting cast to him. Yeah, I think he's had issues with his computer, so we might get him back at some point. George and I will continue discussing the Phantom Menace.
Yes, I didn't realize that. Yeah, no. See, I thought this was an interesting debate because Anakin's the main character of the saga, right?
Yeah,
certainly the first 6 films.
Yes,
hopefully 9. Or people could argue Palpatine is.
Well, you know what? That didn't even cross my mind, but certainly the first 6 films, and if what we're going to get, we think we're going to get 9, then yeah, Palpatine could very much be the overriding arc character right throughout the story.
And this is why I feel that when you get the debate of individual films themselves. The main character of Phantom Menace was always Qui-Gon. It's everything he does, puts everything in motion.
Yeah.
It follows him from the opening scene to essentially the penultimate scene. All of his decisions essentially affect this entire universe forever.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that it's him who first finds his way at the Force, like inside to bring himself back. And
that's what I love about him is that he's, as a character, he's stern, he can disobey. I think that's what made him stand out as this almost rogue Jedi. I know I'm completely talking over an R2-D2 and Freaky.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying, yeah, we are literally getting the meeting of these 2 characters now and where they first meet, which is nice because these are characters we'll follow again through 6. Although R2's not really a character anymore. Really, they've kind of.
It's like he had that moment in Last Jedi, which was probably one of the best moments.
Yeah, and he's not in the trailers for.
9.
He's not in the trailers for 9 at all. Like 3PO's there with the bandolier and things, but R2, I think he's certainly being underplayed in the new trilogy.
He'll have some big role.
We need him to.
Yeah.
He deserves better. Could you imagine if episode 9 started and it just said, in a galaxy far, far away, it was no longer a long time ago? It was like confirmed as like, I mean, not to talk about Game of Thrones, but people believe Game of Thrones could finish the episode with it being written as a book. Like the Hobbit films ends with a book. Imagine if Star Wars ended with like a recording on R2-D2 telling him about
No, it'd just be 3PO still telling the story to Ewoks. That's what you're back on the Endor going, and this is how it all went down in the end. Of course, now we have Peter Serafinowicz as well for the voice here of Maul instead of Sam Witwer, who we have now.
Now, I still prefer Serafinowicz.
I like the way he I do like the way he portrays it. I do like that they try to bring in this completeness with the character. Yeah, like to use the same voice, which is lovely for people who maybe don't watch the things that are outside. of the main films, then yeah, I think it is more of a jarring change then, but I don't mind either or.
I think he did an interview at a convention about a month ago saying that he recorded all
Yeah.
the solo in the studio, and
Then
basically
replaced.
they just essentially they just picked which one, and
Yeah.
canonically wise, it does make sense. And I think especially with Maul, because of how little dialogue he has in this,
Yeah.
the music video, the trailers, the TVs, Phantom Menace, so everything which is more dialogue than he gets in the film.
Yeah.
Also, this is one of my favorite parts, right? It's like you have Jedi reflexes, just grabs the tongue.
Yeah.
Like, he's bragging, but kind of like pretending he's not.
Yeah.
He knows because he saw his laser sword.
Oh,
This is what I love, though. That's what I loved. That's one of my favorite lines. That was a kill Jedi and took it.
Yeah.
I think
It's
so.
played so well
No
at
one
that
cared.
moment. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's that Liam Neeson there. That's just acting. I love it. That's it really does get so like belittled sometimes, this movie, for the acting, but watching it now, you pick out little moments and nuances from characters that are really, really nice moments.
I think Liam Neeson, for his character arc, it's so well. Like, one film, you're the leads, you're going to do this, your characters are going to be involved with everything else. And I think that was great. It was just like, I don't think Qui-Gon needed to develop. He did not need to be in 3 films.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan needed to develop. He needed to become the Padawan to the Master to the guy that loses Anakin.
Yeah.
Where Qui-Gon, like, he introduced him. What I love, jumping ahead to Attack of the Clones, not that, we're going to do an Attack of the Clones thing anytime soon. The scene where Dooku's talking to Obi-Wan, he's there like, Qui-Gon
Here's
would have
what's going on.
Yeah. Literally, you're being controlled. Qui-Gon would have believed me. And you think back, you know what Qui-Gon would have...
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely would have joined them, because he was already annoyed with the council. But I just love that. How convenient. I mean, I don't want to moan silent on them, but how convenient was it that the pod race was tomorrow, the day after they land, and that his pod racer was going to be built tonight?
Yeah, that he's
But
just about finished.
A really long night.
I need 3 parts, really. That's all I need.
I do love Shmi Skywalker. There's a lot of tension between her and
Qui-Gon. Whereas there's little looks between the two.
Yeah, a little untold story there,
Yeah. A little bit of his Irish charm in the eyes. I bet you swooned when he came in.
There's a story there for a book or a comic at some point. You never know.
Look at that. Look at those eyes.
Yep.
Frenchie goes, "There's no father." Qui-Gon's like, "Hello there."
That's what Obi-Wan picks up from. So I learned from a good master.
I will say they aged Shimmy well between 1 and 2. Like, obviously she's half dead at this point in 2, but
Yeah.
for a 3-year filming stint to be 10 years, she definitely had the best. I think she looked older. With obviously she was dying at the same time, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Also, I love how much Padme hates Qui-Gon. He's there like, the Queen trusts my judgment.
The Queen will not approve. The Queen doesn't need to know. Like, yeah, well, the Queen does know. I love the grumpiness. I don't approve. Oh.
I love Watto as a character. I think that shady dealer is someone you'd expect in Tatooine, someone that kind of
It's a rich
nuances,
time
but
of scum and villain.
yeah, he's exactly that. He is scum and villain. He literally in a character, and I absolutely love him.
What do you? So when he says, "I am the only one around here that has that engine." Do you think they checked?
No. They had no time. There was no yellow pages. There was no internet back then for them to go and have a look. They could not Google that to find out.
I can imagine what it'd be like. I'm the only guy that's got this hyperspace generator. Like, next door's like the rival dealer, and he's got like 5 in the window.
His TripAdvisor thing after this was horrendous.
He's lost his number 1 worker.
I do like how you get to know that slaves can be blown up as well.
Yeah. Is it a chip, right?
Just something inside them that they blow up if you try and escape. Sounds like something out of a bad Arnie movie in the 80s. They would have that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was.
I mean, we're getting
Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, right?
yeah.
Turbo Man. Maybe Liam Neeson is Turbo Man. I didn't mind Jake Lloyd. Any kid that took that role on would have got.
They would have got some stick for it, yeah.
I don't mind it. It's just it's the yippies and the woohoos and all of that. That's the only thing that annoys me.
I kind of let it slide because he was a kid, but yeah, it is a little irritating.
It's just it seems out of nowhere.
Of course, we're coming up to our favourite science moment in all of Star Wars history as well.
Where they get the Gillette lady shavers and speak into them.
Yeah.
I just have like 10 minutes there.
And now, and he was made by the Force. It's obviously confirmed in comic canon now that Palpatine is the one who put him inside of his mom.
I think he did. He
is Papa Palpatine.
I'm just intrigued because that was a long time in motion. That plan.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out he really is Papa Palpatine. It is kind of interesting to see now how they are fleshing out that backstory, though, from throwaway lines.
Yeah, exactly. Something that wasn't probably in the minds at the time. It's like, we're going to just see he has no father. He's been from the Force, and
this is my issue. Well, not issue. When you watch this, Dave, this is to you. Did you think, how can he have no brothers when there's Uncle Owen? Did you ever think that back then, or because it got answered, I guess, in episode 2, right? People probably didn't really think.
To be honest, never even thought about it. Never crossed it. At the point when she said there was no father, you was like, oh, okay. When it was mentioned that it was all to do with the Force, just kind of let it go. Here we go. He's the legendary Kitster.
Yep. That the inferior Star Wars show is obsessed with.
I absolutely hated the ginger kid. they look like the cast from The Borrowers.
They really do. And there's Warwick Davis as well in his
one of his many roles.
Is that Wald? No, is that the guy from the pod race? I can't remember.
No, that's Weasel.
That is Wald. Then that is Wald.
Yeah, it's Wald. Yeah.
And in the latest scene of Greedo, isn't there?
There's a cutscene where he plays where young Greedo. You'll only meet a bad end is the line given to him in that.
And then of course this bit here where his mouth hits the live wire. I like that. Again, it's these little comedy moments that people didn't like him for at the time that I liked him for as a kid, and kind of again it's these bits here with
that's the real suit.
I always just wonder though, like, was he actually going to switch the engine on? Because Anakin's not paying any attention to Jar Jar.
Yeah,
like his hand conveniently comes out as he's getting ready.
Literally about to start that engine. Because it would have been a horrible, horrible move when Jar Jar got sucked into that engine and just blown out the far side of it.
It would be like the Korean guard, like when Kylo Ren, like, just
so his nose actually pay attention.
Yeah, but
hey, my tongue is fat. I love that line. It's just like, are you going to only work out in subtitles?
They love the thumbs up. That's one of my favorite like gifts. Like,
the gift of the thumbs up.
If you're ever like in an argument with someone just slagging off like Star Wars, the prequels, whatever, just send them the Jar Jar Binks
thumbs up gift.
If it aggravates them too much, it's definitely worth. I recommend it. I've ever seen the great It's Working meme as well when it turns into Terminator 2 and it just goes.
Lovely shot there.
Another great wipe.
And now we're going to get again Qui-Gon speaking into his Gillette lady shaver.
This is our favourite Star Wars science moment that's divided fans for many years.
It's where all the merchandise came from. The Get Your Talk chips. I've still got one in the garage.
The sound on those is awful as well. When you put the actual chips on them, it's just such a distorted sound on them. It's like, oh, it's definitely that character, yeah. When they couldn't really quite get movie clips on the little.
I do really want now I've got the 20th anniversary more than everyone. I really want the original too, like card is, and that there were so many celebrations. Like, I can't travel these home on the flight, and then now Nova's gonna have them in England because it's not,
So midi-chlorians, what are our stands on midi-chlorians? They were in this movie as a major plot point to then be kind of brushing the carpet.
I've never been a fan. I always prefer the Living Force, but
I don't mind the concept of there's something inside you that makes you a Jedi. I always understood that as what that is.
Mhm.
What I don't like is the number count.
Yeah, that they can go into one person that's higher than theirs, and
Yeah, that's where I like as a kid I wasn't really that fussed, but I always just thought the concept of mini chlorians makes sense because otherwise anybody could have the Force.
which they do.
Mm,
As Luke tells us in episode 8.
I mean,
We'll get to that commentary eventually, yeah.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one.
it's going to be full of people giving us death threats for watching it.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I'd love to do a sit down commentary on that. I think it'd be a really interesting.
What I love
one.
is the fact that we still now have, because of course Maul's using the binoculars here, or the macronoculars, is even to this day now in Star Wars, we still have that kind of grainy VHS look to it. I kind of like that. And the Pro Drives. Who didn't love the Imperial Pro Drives? They were really cool.
The worst Legos there were. It was a bloody blob with
It was, yeah.
a little wire on top.
Yes, but this was 20 years ago. And of course, Lego's also celebrating its 20th anniversary for Star Wars Lego this year as well.
And
Yeah.
it's a great time to tell you about a May the 4th video where we count down our top 10 Lego sets each.
I still need to watch that back.
It
I was
was-
unfortunately not able to be part of that.
It was good fun. We've not really done lists before, so I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is.
I've got more ideas for stuff we could do. I was gutted I couldn't unfortunately be a part of that one. And what I love about the pits here is the fact there is a model scene as well. Like the actual larger version of it is just a giant model set. And I love that. The same with the arena in episode 2.
This is where it got destroyed, right? There was like storms and stuff when they were filming, weren't they?
Yeah,
The pods when they're lining up along the start line.
yeah.
And that's where they were when
wrecked.
they got wrecked by the. But they said the sandstorm happened as well in '77 when they were doing.
Yeah, in Tunisia. Yeah.
Yeah. So they saw it more as a good look charm. I love that Sebulba is a pimp. With
Oh,
his
yeah,
ladies
too,
around
right?
him.
Yeah.
I was
He's a Doug. The name kind of also implies that Doug is kind of sounds cool already.
biggest question today: why does Water have a walking stick? That's a,
It is a bizarre thing, and I just love that Liam Neeson also cheats now at the gambling side of it.
now. I reckon Watto's dice was weighted.
And
Oh, of course it was.
so he was going to cheat initially. That's what he's got so much shock when it rolls onto the one he's not expecting.
Yeah.
Because you always happen to have a chance cube in your pocket.
When you are kind of on the dodgy end of stuff, of course you do.
I just accept it. Yeah,
It's the poor sea.
Apart from the hand movement was really like out there, like it was really obvious.
But Water wasn't paying attention. You see, what I always thought out there was says you won the small toss out land. I always thought it was at random.
Some of these pods, I mean, I love the pod designs. Sebulba's pod is
Ben Quadraro's pod was cool. It just blew up.
I love.
That's why I liked it, though. I think I liked it because it was just insane.
I'm very excited to get to the pod race, guys. This is
great.
My issue when it comes to the pod racing, and I know it's a very nitpicky issue, is the engine noise for Anakin's pod. You always hear it going up gears, but you don't ever hear it do anything else. It's a Formula One engine noise they've just put. And it's just doing up the gears. It's just like this makes no sense to me, but that's just me being very, very anal about it.
what I love is when Kitster dubs him as like finish the race. Anakin pulls his little face in.
Cheers, kids! I'm trying to pull this one, man.
Yep. Just her face. I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!"
This so reminiscent of the scene of the stormtroopers going around Tatooine looking for the droids.
It's a skull guy there. It's just a random skull guy that I like.
What's a bombastic trying? I'm not even hearing. I can hear it in my head.
And here we go, lining up for the Winter Eve. Greg Proops.
Greg Proops. I was just about to say it. The legend who does come back as well. I love the fact you've got the pods in the background there on the screens and stuff. It's just, I love it.
The commentary used to bother me as well. That was one of the things, again, when I saw it. I love the pod race. I absolutely adored it. But Ben Quadraneris.
He's my favorite. Just because he's insane. Of course, then you have his
Gasgana, little snake.
Three Stooges pit droids.
Pit droids.
Yep.
I love Sebulba.
He's awesome. His pod races. I can see why it won so much. His pod race is awesome.
Yeah. It sounds cool as well.
The thing is, this is what I love. Like, I speak to my friend, obviously, Phil, racing.
Yep.
I knew what pod racing was before Formula One, and I think I've said to people before that This was like my original Formula One. It's the concept of
It
it.
was.
And
What
like,
I love was the N64 game, the pod racer game was just
The arcade was amazing as well. They brought an arcade game.
so I've got a great story of this. So I went to Barcelona in year 7, so 08, on like a school trip. Went on the ferry to France to finish driving. The arcade game of pod racing. And
Oh,
it's half of Anakin's pod race as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I bet on it. I had. It was amazing. And
It's,
the three Stooges here. How can you not love it?
it's a bit weird. He's got fans.
yeah, like already. Yeah, just,
It's
maybe
nice,
because he's local. Like, yeah. When someone steps out of the concert, hello, Wembley. I'm from London. Hi.
Right.
I just
I love the fact that you got 3PO here just going, I don't know what I'm doing.
oh flat. So they've put
Yeah.
No need.
Yeah.
Just think you get a moment like that, and
And then this.
great moment after.
But where's she appeared from?
She didn't seem to be there with the rest of them. In the pit, she couldn't go in. But no, it's a lovely character moment that comes up, and I love the sneaky Sebulba stuff here. He's gonna.
Yeah, Andy Secom that does the voice. I think.
Yes, yeah.
I love how they just hate each other.
It's a little rivalry. It's fun.
Oh, it works it really well that they've got this.
I must admit, when I went back and watched this for the 3D re-release in 2012, something like that. This was the bit I was looking forward to most. The pod race in 3D.
Pod race was incredible.
I mean, it was Duel of the Fates and it was this in 3D, but it was more this. It was more pod race in 3D.
Lucas, you could tell they put money into that 3D release. You know, like how like James Cameron did a release of Titanic and didn't watch it in 3D, but he put money into that release. He didn't just go.
Yeah. Didn't just get the 2 camera screens and just make it.
He didn't press the button. He's like, I'm going to go through the scenes, and this is what Lucas did. Lucas went through the entire, like scene by scene.
Jabba the Hutt, and also our first look at
Bib Fortuna. And Guardian of the Hut in the background as well.
And Bib Fortuna's cameo is Matt Wood.
It is Matt Wood, yes, Lucasfilm's own Matt Wood. That came out. It did come out over Celebration weekend. That's the first time I'd heard it. Yeah.
I just love the design of all of them.
Yeah, the design work by Doug Chiang and his team in this movie is second to none. It really does look. Everything looks amazing. Like it's in the world that we know, but they stepped it up. She's really good in this, Padme. Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, she really is. Yeah.
She gets less good as the movies go on, but in this one, she's really good.
There's a bit of rumors. There's a bit of background heat when she was doing them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Wasn't. I mean, I was getting actress. You look at Leon. You look at Heat. Like you don't see many characters that have got it from them.
Yeah.
You know, she did. I mean, I don't watch Strange Things. I think Millie Bobby Brown's like current. That she's the one that's saying she's got the future.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
But even you go back to like Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt when they were younger, they're like, oh, just typical like pretty boys can't stand them. They developed. So
It's like again Leonardo DiCaprio and also I'm trying to remember his name now. It'll come to me in a bit as well.
Look at those engines.
Yeah.
It's the sound.
It is the sound, yeah, it's just everything ready to go, yeah.
There is the scene, I think, when it's on the third, about to hit the third lap, and you go to R2.
And Diesel!
Yes, Warwick Davis. Same character that appears in Solo.
Solo, yeah.
R2's head is almost off. It's at an angle, so there's a gap between his head and his body as we come around one of the laps. I'll point that out as we go around as well. It's quite a fun little thing that it's not working properly.
I love how the commentators just don't care and just mock him.
Yeah,
Right.
just like, oh, he's stalled. Everyone loves it.
Look. It's just the noise. You can't hear it. I can hear it in my mind. And then, of course, quadrant arrows. And then, I love this. Everything just goes wrong and it just blows up.
Come on, Annie.
Wait, is it the Indy 500 this weekend?
Yes. No, qualifying was this weekend.
Oh.
I like how they get the iPads free as well to watch the race on.
Yep.
Before there was iPads. Star Wars creates everything.
Star Wars does create everything, yep. And the first just big crash. I loved watching the crashes. They were brilliant.
Sebulba's just like, he does not care. They're going off the track.
No.
It's like
This,
on PS3.
Yeah.
I mean, look at for where computer graphics were when this movie came out to them produce this.
This was money. This was where the money went. Of course, Aura Singh.
Aura
there as well.
Singh. I hear she got pushed to her death by Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, we're driving boss. No, we're driving boss. Tobias Beckett. Oh, you just hear it in the mind. The bulb was
I am hearing it. It is amazing. You're right.
That's
That
thud. Yeah.
My impression obviously is really good for anybody listening.
The problem is we've had this when we're watching Rogue One. You can't help but just get stuck into watching it. And
do you find yourself? Yeah. I mean, look at this that explosion that kicks out of it. I love them getting very much like people as well.
Yeah, speaking Tuscan dialect. Yes. No, I love that crash though. It's just kind of like, oh, everyone's having fun. This is great. Oh, I'm dead. Very light that as well.
I love the fact that Tuscan Raiders shooting at the pods as they go through.
Yeah. This bit I love. Just everything goes wrong and blows up in his face, just spectacularly.
I love as well. Did anyone ever get the Star Wars Fact Files magazine?
Yeah.
I got them when I was younger. Like over the years, you get all the pod racers that have all their backstories of who was great, who was not. And one of my favorites was the little one that goes little thing. you know who I mean. I always forget his name, but we'll get to him. But I love.
And then here, I've just been sucked straight through. Like, no.
And again, a real prop, and you can tell that's a real thing. That engine part.
I love this.
So unnecessary.
I love that scream. Oh, the gap. I see.
No, that's not this one. It's
a slight little one. Yeah.
No, wait, it's even bigger. It's great.
Oh, really?
Not great, but I'll show you in a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have had the quickest pod race by like a gazillion miles.
Oh, no, that's a bigger gap there. Yeah, jeez.
Popcorn. Get your popcorn and dead fish.
It's like American sports like that, right? When you're there. I mean, I get to argue.
They are. Yes.
It's like when you're like the Albert Hall or something, and you'll get like, "Oh, want some ice cream?" Like,
yeah.
He's got rear cameras. These were a thing in Star Wars before real life, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Cascano. So I think I lost a piece of the Lego. I could never ever finish it.
One thing that is in this scene that you don't kind of even pick up on with part way, we're like mostly through this. No John Williams sound. Yeah. Until we get to the very end of the race, it cuts out away. It's just race sounds.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite a daring thing to do when you're in this. You could feel that. You could feel where the John Williams would play through it and how it would build the tension. But you're right. It's not lost when it's not there.
No, it doesn't need it. The sounds alone, the sound effects alone do it for you. Especially later on when you have Sebulba right behind Anakin, just that thud right behind it. It's that's all it needs.
One of my favorite.
Yep.
I tweeted that to Pablo Hidalgo, and I think he felt like a sort of Four Stars character, so I like respect. No, I never liked this spinning thing. Now this,
but it's a good trick, apparently.
Yeah.
I never knew this existed so I had this on VHS.
Yeah.
And then I got like the DVD in like 2010, so I solid had like a video copy for like over 10 years. Yeah. I didn't know that half these there was almost an extended edition of the
yeah.
And I remember seeing these the first time. I was like, wait, all the pod races changed? And I hated this. I don't know why. But I just loved Anakin's race, so it's just a simple design.
Yeah, it really is.
Kind of really want to build the Lego Anniversary one I've got, but I really don't want to open it. But
Mine's sat in the box waiting to be built. Yeah, I've got so many Legos that just sat waiting to get done.
This is, without doubt, one of the saddest moments in Star Wars history. Oh no! Wait, sorry, we've already missed it, haven't we?
Yeah, the in memoriam section has already played with his fatal crash.
Yep.
I
love this crash here. This
guy got that. Imagine he survives this bit. Like they're just sitting there sniping him. Like
that's gotta hurt.
Yep.
And here we're coming to our final straight. I mean, just those two engine noises, absolutely amazing.
But they're very distinctively different. That's what I like about them.
But it is like, I mean, like if those that are up to listening that don't know George's backstory, he would have not made Star Wars if he hadn't have been in a really bad car crash as a boy racer. He would not have film. And that's why I love this. I mean, he goes to F1 races all the time. He's had sponsorship deals with F1 teams before.
I do remember the Red Bull 2005 Episode 3 one.
Exactly. And that's what I love. Like, that's crazy. Like, Lucas just went out and did it. And they did it for the 40th anniversary as well. Renault did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And I think George Lucas is meant to be good mates with Hamilton now. I think Hamilton says that they're quite in like personal terms with each other. Which is just crazy, but I just love the pod race.
Yeah.
Love this. The overshoot here to get past him. I love.
Like, people dislike this pod race. I don't know why.
Love it.
I mean, I'm wearing my pod racing top as well from Star Wars.
Nice.
Nice.
I kept it for this day. But I don't understand why people dislike this. Like, it doesn't detract from the plot. It's clearly explained.
No, yeah. And I mean, yes, they probably could have done a shorter cut of this race.
Oh, and of course the Jawas there. Just it had to be done. And this is what I mean, though. Right here, the sound effects of having that pod right in it, and you can hear it. It's. I mean, yes, okay, we haven't got audio, and you do, Dave, but you have it right in your ears. This constant drone. You don't need the music when you have that tension being built up.
Now it's literally this is where the music kicks in.
Yeah,
it's just started for the whole that race. You've had nothing but the race sounds, and now as we get to the final straights, this is when it starts to go in. With Anakin in trouble with the smoke billowing, which I thought actually would pretty quite helpful for him to all that, suburban choking.
With John Williams as well. John Williams, it would have probably been his choice not to put anything to that scene as well.
Yeah,
they probably said saying, "What can you do?" And he probably thought it doesn't need it.
And again, though, it's not. This is not paced badly. It's
no, it's
you can see how much racing someone has watched to cut this together.
Oh, it's like a not like a race in a race, but you could put the pod race as a short film, and there's a narrative structure to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is not working.
He's definitely got the quickest pod racer in history to catch up Sebulba every time.
For this point, yeah, absolutely. Sebulba should be another half lap round.
But again, this is where the Jedi instincts come into play. He just has a random magical shortcut. I mean, you have to have a little bit of convenience when it comes down to it.
It's all secret movie time. Things aren't exactly running.
Yeah.
Here we are, final straight.
Final straight. I always love some of the heat haze you get off the sand as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of the first shots you got in the first trailer as well, where you got that shot of the two races going along. Obviously,
and it's kind of mirrored in episode 9 with the TIE Striker / TIE Silencer, whatever it is.
It looks very similar to that in that trailer. Yeah, everything's looking like it's going to be so. Like George always said, it's always poetry. It's just another verse of it, and we are going to see that. And I think episode 9 will hopefully hold some of that as well.
I just want a Disney Plus series on pod races.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
A bit of resistance, but not a huge amount.
Can you imagine like a film like Rush, it's about like pod races?
Oh, nice.
And then how Sebulba miraculously survives as well. Just kind of just skids to a halt. Like,
I love this. It's such like a fitting like minor villain arc as well.
Yeah. How everyone was booing for Anakin like a lap before is now cheering.
Local boy comes good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow, that gap is horrendous.
That dawn is not fixed. Yeah, it's huge.
Wow, I hadn't noticed how bad that was before.
I'm never going to unsee that now, you know?
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah, you will never unsee that. But it's so good.
It's also interesting how dark that blue is now compared to how kind of royal regal blue it is today.
On R2's dome, it changes colours so frequently.
Yeah. I'm just bored. Like, 3-lap race. Eh?
To be fair, that's me watching half the Grand Prix.
Spanish in particular, but we're not. Yeah, we'll get into that.
There he goes. He's in.
I also love him. So Qui-Gon saying nothing. Goes, see, told you we'll be right.
By the way, I'm taking your mum away, taking your son away, and
I noticed the little Greedo thing in the background getting carried by the thing. I love how like Watto is like financially in ruins.
Yeah, just literally destroyed him. Yeah. Not only did it take Anakin away, but he's
Did he bet on Sebulba every race for like 10 years?
Everyone knew, yeah.
Yeah.
I lost everything. It's like John Wick.
And that's a lesson for everybody. Whenever you do gamble, eventually you lose.
Oh, there's his family in the background. Did you see that? The one that dies, his family walking around.
Getting into the family room, like, yeah, we need to talk. We've got this part of him.
Just the mafia style here is like, do you want to discuss this with the family? Nope, I didn't think so. It's another pathetic life form. It's the boy. Oh, okay.
That's the Obi-Wan is in this film. Yeah. Like, it's the seed of everything to come. Do you think Ewan McGregor that was saying that? Do you reckon that was in the script?
I've got to think that if it's in there, I think a script for a George Lucas movie, I don't think it would have allowed. Certainly not in the first one, where there would be any.
No questioning it. Look all the money we have. They've got like pennies.
It's like, yeah, we've got 4 discs and a bone. And
I love that Shimi knows straight away that she's not.
That she's not going with him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I'm boned.
Well, to be honest, I say yes, but I'm not actually. It's not my choice.
Yeah, what I don't really say here is the council will decide that, and then I'll disobey them, and everything will be fine. But
I have to run it past a big bunch of people, and if they say no, to be honest, I'll bring them back.
But sorry, return your Jedi. He's just he's too old. I like how that goes out the window for Luke. It's just a case of that. He's too old, but he's our last hope, so we kind of might as well get on with the training.
It looks like it's his son. Do you think he might turn into him? Nah. I hope.
So what have we got to lose? The Empire's taken over anyway.
Didn't work that well at that. Don't mention it. No.
I'm sure we'll be fine this time. It's like I never finished it before, though. Well, you're finishing it this time.
Now he thinks of his mother.
Yep.
Qui-Gon was like, damn it, I didn't want to answer that question. Surely they could have took Shimmy, like.
She was a way of finding her blowy up
on something else.
Yeah, could have. Got out a bit more gambling. Could have gone to Canto Bite, the casino. Threw those money that had made down, and look at that. If we Canto Bite in episode 1 to then return in episode 8,
or he could have taken the credits that they had got by selling the pod to Watto and go, look, you have no money left. We'll give you these credits if you free Shmi.
What does she do as a slave? She doesn't work at his shop.
On a weekend, we didn't see that. This is a weekday. I think it was.
Yeah.
She works in Tatooine, McDonald's, and Starbucks throughout the week. Look at that. Look at the little hand on the shoulder there. Go on,
this is the, we're going to while until he leaves. There's so much of fact there. It's like, well, I've been freed. I'm sorry. Someone else has got to finish the job for me.
This puppetry that they used for this 3PO, for them to rig up Daniel so that he can get some of that movement in, so it brought as much as you could for that bigger rig. Yeah.
It was impressive, but it's a little easier than some of the actual full-on animatronics they had to do. Also, just the bye. Sorry, I created you. And I've given you life, but no clothes.
This is one of my favorite scenes of the entire Star Wars.
It's an emotional heavyweight of the film. It's just the decision between family and dreams.
So, one strap over the shoulder, proper 90s kid.
Too right. Yeah.
If this was shot now, he would be totally two-strapping it.
No, he'd be like saddlebagging it. The 90s bowl cut as well.
The acting's pretty great
for a kid, yeah.
And with Lucas, for the criticism of his script, he can nail it. There are some great scenes.
There really are.
That's what Harrison Ford said to us. Like, you can write this, but you can't say it. Paraphrasing there, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Family friendly. Yeah.
Family friendly commentary.
I just kind of wish we did episode 2 now. I was like Clay Glass. Like, I just love how pathetic Clay Glass is. Face it, your mother is dead. Isn't she your wife? She's dead.
My other mistress is around the corner.
Like, think about how creepy. He's a one-legged man that just buys slaves to marry them.
Mail order bride.
Should
Star
be the
Wars
meal
edition.
order, yeah, absolutely.
We just said family friendly and like
She was the mail away when you bought so many figures.
no, no.
You buy so many slaves and you got Shimei as the
God.
mail away.
Family friendly
So-
commentary. What has this become?
More looking.
Well,
Yeah, I love that we're going to now get more
this
than
was
action.
my favorite Lego set. We talked about. I know you guys talked about it for me
Yeah.
on video, but it was the first set they released. The first set I owned.
I swear you put this as your second choice.
I told you to flip them around, but yes.
No. We did flip it around.
Yep.
Because we're both like, what? We all
Yeah.
picked a Falcon.
Oh, love that. And there, it's just this initial fight, and I love that at this point you don't, if you haven't seen the trailer, you don't see the double blade of the lightsaber either.
You just see it's
reflecting
more of a
hugely
s-
long
a
hilt.
staff,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I love how no one else saw it more coming ever.
No, even Obi-Wan, who sat on the ship,
No, Rick Ollie, the pilot.
I got in trouble, and Obi-Wan was just messing with the controls. Oh yeah,
Over there, he's right in front of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could get out there with your lightsaber. You know that super speed you used as a Jedi just 10 minutes earlier. I'm all right. I'm quite comfortable.
Yeah.
I love that they switched.
It's more jumpy flippy. We now get jumpy flippy. We didn't have that in 4, 5, and 6.
I hate how the original scene was them fighting on the landing pad together.
Yeah.
It works so much better for Qui-Gon just out jumping him.
Oh, it did. It really did. Yeah, see, we've gone from matte dome there to metallic dome we have now. Oh, so you just changed it.
Our introduction of Anakin to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
I love this. It's just like so ironic. He's literally teaching him there.
Yep.
But was this a big moment at the cinema, Dave?
It was, I think because we're British about it, and I think we're getting less that way in cinemas now with movies and applause and cheering. Every screen I saw it was very much a British audience. There was no cheering, no clapping.
I love the spider chair here. I love the spider chair.
Seems unnecessary, and I don't know why he has to have it.
But look at it, he's just loving it. It's like, yeah, I'm above you now, plebe.
Take him away.
Don't come away. Is it I'm above you now, plebe? It's I'm above you, plebe. That's all it is. I love it.
But yeah, I mean, audiences now, obviously, like, let's talk about Avengers Endgame, really, is probably the first time I've really known a British audience go absolutely crazy through a film.
My experiences with that has been Force Awakens.
Yep.
You kind of had one person cheer as the Star Wars logo came up. Dark Knight Rises, there was a standing ovation at the end. Infinity War, I noticed. I mean, it depends where you watch it, though, right?
Yeah.
Because I did Last Jedi in Leicester Square. That's the best experience of a film.
Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Endgame, and Infinity War. All of it I've had.
I'd say there's 4. And I think if you go to Leicester, you get people now like we want to do, right? We all want to go to Leicester Square to watch episode 9. I think there's a core group that want to watch it in Leicester Square as well.
Yeah.
And because I think it's Leicester Square, it's the reputation people want to go. And episode 8 was madness. Like you could just through the sweat and the heat and everything. When Rey got that lightsaber with Kylo Ren, everybody just started going for it, cheering and everything. In America, that's like common. Like apparently, it's cinemas. Now, one of those Phantom Menace does slow down when it gets to Coruscant.
Yeah, when the politics come into a bit more, and you've kind of got to fight
Now-
through that to get to getting rid of.
But what it does set up is everything for 2 and 3.
My only bit here though is where the hell did he get the time to make that? You go, here, I made this for you. But when?
He's got it for like 3 days. He probably just took it off a shelf and just said, "I made it for you."
Yeah.
There's like a load of them. Like he's just one for each girl that comes into the shop.
Everyone.
We really think that Simone was the pimp, but actually it's Anakin. It just really is.
This is a 9-year-old playing for a 14-year-old. Like, come on.
Before the days of Swolo Ren. And Coruscant, the first time we'd seen it, we'd heard about it in 4, 5, 6, and at that point Legends. But never actually seen it. So it was great. Like when we saw Corellia in Solo, I loved actually seeing Corellia. That's one of those planets we'd heard about so much but never seen.
I love how wasted Chancellor Valorum is.
Yeah, for getting Terrence Stamp to play a role and then give him nothing to do. It's just a bit criminal. I
It
love,
would be
I love
great,
Terrence Stamp.
but it would have been too obvious if it was Palpatine. Not that I'd have ever wanted anyone else but Ian McDermott to have done it.
No.
No.
Oh, you couldn't have. It plays so perfectly now that he's going to go right through this saga.
Yeah. And who knows where he'll end up in episode 9.
It's going to be amazing.
I don't know. I also like how the fact that I don't even think that he actually twigs that they've switched.
Oh, without doubt, yeah. I do like that. I love the design on the what will turn out to be the Royal Guards in the blue with the Roman style mohawks on the back.
Yeah.
So I don't think Valorum was a bad man. I just don't think he was ready for Palpatine to plan.
Valorum.
No one was.
Yeah, he was
No
just
one was.
literally thrown under the bus. He was there.
Yeah.
I think he's probably there because Palpatine wanted him there.
Yeah. And Masamela, Palpatine had him in his pocket from day one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is where the CGI
sure.
is most noticeable in all of this film. Is the Coruscant, any landing scene at Coruscant. That's when it's really glaringly obvious.
It does. It stands out. It's hard to hide in the daylight. Way more.
Yeah, you can see it's kind of that little line around it all that's just kind of...
Just doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't quite hold up as well as some of the others does. Even some of
No, but it still holds up
right.
well. The problem is it doesn't hold up as well as it could do, but it still holds up. For a 20-year-old film, it still holds up. There's still parts of it you go, yeah, that could have been made yesterday. It's still parts of it, like the bigger scenes where the detail is kind of lost a little bit. It just looks, it's so grand that it could look like it was made yesterday.
Where did she get these costumes from?
Literally, now she's got there. It's like, yeah, I've got me a special.
Right, that really is a consular ship, or kind of when you have your senatorial quarters. That is your kind of, come on, you're gonna have these outfits ready for you. There's some bits you just have to let go.
There's no way felt that.
Let go your conscious hate. God damn it.
How many? Oh, which headpiece should I take? Definitely the massive one with the mohawk. I don't want that one.
My basis accusations of corruption says Palpatine standing there going,
and she's got a room just full of white face paint, just like Joker style amounts of. Oh
no, she has one person sat there with an airbrush, ready to go at all times.
But again, the costume work. Is it Trisha Bigger? I want to say Trish Bigger. The costume work, especially on Padme. I mean, look at Palpatine's outfit there. Just the level of detail that we had now from going into the basics that we had in the original trilogy, where things are kind of thrown together. Farm boy Luke is wearing high cream jeans.
That's kind of the whole point, though. Is it's supposed to be the high point of society before everything goes wrong.
I don't want to interrupt, guys. I thought that that Peter Mayhew's wife has just announced they're doing a limited edition Peter Mayhew memorial coin.
Cool.
There's 5,000 of them in production. It was announced literally 15 minutes ago. They just sold 2,000, and it's all going to his charity.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry to interrupt the stream to bring you that. I'm going to order one, and I'm going to send you guys a link if you're interested.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So now we are looking at Yoda, and now we're all looking, I guess, at the CG version.
Yes.
Now, where do we stand now?
Prefer CG.
CG. Yeah,
I hated Puppet Yoda as a child. As in, not Empire or Return.
What I like is the fact that Yaddle is still puppet.
Yeah, because Yaddle, that's it.
Yaddle.
And Yaddle Poof. Who doesn't love Yaddle Poof?
But yes, I mean, I was very much looking forward to seeing Yoda, but I think they did the puppet too well.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm more of a fan of the puppet.
Yeah, I'm with George. I like. I still don't.
No, that's a fair enough comment. And it works for 2 and 3.
Is still not great. It's still not the best. Obviously, again, it's early CG when they started doing this for episode 2. That's the CG they've used, so it's come on so much further now. And to be honest, they'd probably have made a better hash at the puppet this time if it was now, where it would.
I also agree with that. I think what they tried to do with the puppet for this, it looked weird in the chair. There wasn't something right. I think they tried to make him look young, but instead it took it away from Yoda. And I think what they wanted to do in 2 and 3 with him being CG, for continuity, it did make sense to switch it.
And we get Samuel L. Jackson as well.
I love that he ranked George Lucas like, I just want a part in Star Wars, didn't he?
He was on TGI Fridays with Chris Evans. He was getting interviewed, and literally they were asking if he had any projects he wanted to do. And his words were, "I want to be in the next Star Wars movie. I'll do anything. I'll play a slave if I have to." And after that, he got the part fairly quickly after that.
And then he walked his way into getting the I want a purple lightsaber too.
Yeah.
And then Lucas just engraved bad Mother F on it as well
Yes,
in Oregon.
Yes,
And he takes that apparently to every set on May the 4th he's at.
Yeah, Brie Larson. He gave it to Brie Larson when they were shooting.
Brie Larson, and then he tweeted he's filming Hitman's Bodyguard's wife. I think that's what it's called. He tweeted on May the 4th this year. He was like, "Happy May the 4th." He's just holding his lightsaber in Croatia. I love this design of the Senate chamber.
It is amazing. You get to see ETs in here, and you get to see Wookiees in here. ETs were a lovely catch in there. Obviously, in the same world, if you watch ET, when ET walks past a Yoda, someone just as Yoda recognizes them, and this is kind of why you see that they are from the same universe, which is a really nice little touch. But obviously, we get into politics now, which I think is where a lot of people would kind of drop out the movie for a little bit. I think.
I just love how, like, without getting to real life politics, how real it is. It's like, this guy's talking rubbish. No, these are bad people. These guys are lying. Why don't you believe us?
Yeah, it's very close to real world. It really is, and way before its time, I think, in terms of that. But oh, look, another outfit change.
I love that outfit though. Actually, I think it is one of the better ones that she has. She has some good ones, but as you were saying, the costume design in this is just it's on point. It's fantastic.
Yeah. You can see the money that went to all this. You can see why they had such the budget for these things.
And they're like,
Celestians are really
bro
cool.
just got annihilated in a pod race. Now we're angry with you, Anakin.
Yeah. I like the Celestians though. The look of them is really cool.
Is that the three-eyed guys?
Yes.
Reese, as I would know him from the figure.
And of course, here's Masamida whispering to Valorum. Here's where Palpatine goes in, and this is just where his plan. He just goes and gently nudge it into effect.
Every point you see now, Palpatine is just edging his plan closer and closer to fruition. Yeah. Suffer and die.
It is cool just to pause it every now and then and look at all the races they have there. It's an incredible amount of work has gone into this, and of course sets it up for episode 3 between Palpatine and Yoda.
I love that fight scene inside there.
Oh god, I love it as well. It's fantastic. We will do 2 and 3 at some point. We will do everything at some point.
I don't know if I'm available for 2.
Oh dear.
Time for Valorum heard you there, Dave.
No, not now. There's ET, of course. There's ETs.
That was always one of my favorite moments.
And then, of course,
Star Wars. Just when he sits down, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, and of course, we had On-Free Tarf as well. I forgot to point that out. We had On-Free Tarf.
I just love that. Again, Terrence Stamp, he's done now with the movie. It's so underplayed and underused. He comes back in Clone Wars for an episode.
He does. It serves a point. There are certain characters that, yes, it's disappointing they don't get much, but they're there to serve a point.
It was like Lor Santeca in Force Awakens, right?
Yes, yeah.
Max one said, "Oh my god, Max von Sydow's a Sith. Oh my god, Max von Sydow's going to be this evil force. Oh my god, Max von Sydow, the new Emperor." Is like,
it's dead within like 3 minutes.
Opening scene. Like,
I love that this is the Jedi test. Can you tell us what's on my screen?
Yeah. He's not. He doesn't actually know. He's just looking as the reflection of basically his eyes, gazing into his limpid pools of loveliness.
I love that there's this kid, like he's 9, and they're just there like, I'm cold, probably temperature-wise.
Now,
and they're like, no, you're a cold
inside,
individual.
yeah, that's your heart.
True, but what I love, this is my favorite quotes of all time for Star Wars, is the fear of past the dark side part. Later on in episode 3, sets up for it though. It's just that the little hints here and there, drops. It's just you can't help it. George Lucas was just going along every bit, going, "Hey, fear past the dark side, fear is anger, hate is suffering." It's a quote that I will probably have on this arm at some point. Like that, yeah.
I just love that they're just rinsing this kid, and Sam Jackson's there like, "I see through you."
Yeah, Sam Jackson knows how bad this kid is.
Yeah.
Like, he sensed it right through. He never
Well,
trusted him at all.
Yeah,
And he was right.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
right,
yeah, absolutely.
It's like, I love that he only got trained out of pity. Like,
It was for the fact that he's like, I sense you're going to cut my hand off.
I feel glasses in my future.
Yeah. I also love another costume change here for Amidala.
If this is her just before bed outfit, like before she's literally going to go to like at nighttime, I'm just going to put this on. Dress down. Gunga's not going down without a fight.
He's got a grand army. Yeah, Naboo's got nothing, mate. They didn't even put up a fight.
I love that it does.
One of my favourite memes.
Just the amount of smugness.
Surprised to be sure, but
Sure.
come on.
For the welcome one. Yeah, I love. It's a great meme. It really is.
He's there like 20 years of waiting.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, if they hadn't have elected him, he's like, back to ground zero.
Yeah. The drawn boards come out in the office say, I don't know where we went wrong, boys. This flow chart had everything in that were going to happen.
Well, at least he hasn't won yet. He's just been nominated.
Well, I never like the name.
And then here's the confidence, like, yeah, I will be.
They like, here's Bail Antilles. It should have been, no, it's Bail Organa or Captain Antilles. It's not one or the other. But what
Bail Organa hadn't been introduced by this point, though.
but they said like Bail Antilles and Order on this. They're like, it didn't really. They just wanted to make a reference to Captain Antilles.
Yeah.
This is what I love. This is the moment where she's caught Palpatine out.
Yeah.
This is the thing he doesn't see
He'd
coming.
never see. Yeah, he doesn't think she's going to return.
He thought he had that wrapped up.
It's almost panic. Like he panics of what he's going to have to do to change around.
Because his game plan wasn't this. His game plan was they're all going to sign it. It's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, you look at what follows up. How they're all trying to assassinate her across episode 2, right?
Yeah.
He knows that she's a thorn in his plans, and he is the only thing between him and Anakin. And he did not see this coming.
Nope.
That look
right.
There, brilliant.
Right. Send my assassin.
That looks stunning. That scene across Coruscant there.
Yeah.
I love how also they're just grilling him in front of, like, he's rubbish, boo, and he's just stood there. Like, if you were Anakin, wouldn't you have hated Mace Windu from day one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be like that teacher that you never liked at school.
But it sows the seeds, though. It plants it for later on his distrust in the council.
I know, like, he's like distrust them, but they never show it. Like, the films show him being fine with them until the Senate at Palpatine stuff.
Yeah.
I love that Qui-Gon's like, nope, forget your rules. He's mine. Also, the Jedi behind...
Everyone looks gutted as well. Like, oh, all right.
The Jedi behind is the most pointless Jedi in history. His lightsaber, to defend his head and neck, must be like 10 foot tall.
Would have to be.
Like, imagine that in, like, combat. Like, someone just throws it at him, his neck.
Yeah. I love Plo Koon in the background there as well. Again, you have the living force there, and then talk about midichlorians. It's like,
I love they're like, no,
what do you want?
They're like, we're going to decide what happens with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
We're going to choose, like, he kills Darth Maul. Well, you know what? You're a Jedi now.
Yeah.
It's more than what we've done.
Obi-Wan looks visibly pissed at this point.
I love Kelly Mundi.
Oh, he's just superb. Look at that head.
Yeah.
The Generals have 2 boiled eggs just covered over.
Of course, Anakin bowing here, going, "I just hate you. Just try to be in front of everyone."
We're really like a pace through this movie. I can't believe like we're already.
It feels a lot quicker than when we watch it
yeah.
normally. I don't know it's because we're talking, but we've never had this Phantom Menace discussion, right?
No,
No.
We're literally like 40 minutes from the end of the movie now, and it's quite crazy that we've got this far through.
Mm.
It like George was saying, it's the whole thing. I know we're talking frenetic pace of the cutting, but the editing is so well done, and the pacing for this movie is, apart from maybe the Senate scenes where it slows it down a little bit, the rest of it, once we get off Coruscant now and back to Naboo, right through the end of the movie, the pacing of it is incredible.
Again, some more great dialogue.
You just looking out, kind of. The midichlorians.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Wait.
What are midichlorians?
But when did he hear Yoda talking about midichlorians?
Just passing in the corridor.
That's what he says. I overheard last year talking about.
He might have walked him past the younglings and
no,
learning.
at this point, I've just picked this up. Wait, when the hell did he listen to
He
this?
walked
When
past
did he
that
know?
room, so he knew where to go slaughter the children later in episode 3. He walked past that room.
Oh, making mental notes for later. Yeah.
Yeah. If I track it around there, that's where they'll all be. It's fine.
Hmm.
Liam Neeson is awesome in this movie. I'm sorry. The more and more you say it, it's
I know that Men in Black's going to have a UK premiere soon, and that he'll be there. But I've heard from like everybody he doesn't sign Star Wars. One of my friends was
really.
One of my friends said he was face to face with him in America, just them two in the street. Liam Neeson still wouldn't sign Star Wars.
Oh.
But then again, you don't know until you know the situation, right?
Yeah.
Because I heard this about everyone else I've got all guys from. But Liam Neeson, I just love him. Like Qui-Gon's just iconic character.
Yeah.
And he's a great character as well. That he doesn't need more than I haven't even really started Mastering Apprentice yet. And that's meant to apparently be really good and be really in depth into his and Obi-Wan story. And that's got some really high reviews.
I love that this walker that Palpatine also has as a hologram here is also a spider walker as well. It's like everything on this planet they have that walks is a spider walker of some kind.
Well, where do you think Darth Maul got the legs from? he found the chair and pinched it. That's exactly what happened now.
Just took them off.
This is my headcanon now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, it has to be done on the headcanon. He actually crawls out the pit and goes, I need legs, and finds the chair. He goes, right, that'll do.
Just scuttles off on it.
Yes.
Do you think, surely someone would have gone looking for Maul's body, right?
You would have thought someone,
No.
yeah, because...
No, not in the afterlife. You're not really going to... Who's Obi-Wan going to tell? They're not really
If
going to go...
If you're
check
Yoda and you've had this kid go, I just killed a Sith. Where's your evidence? Qui-Gon's dead. How do we know you didn't kill him? You'd have been like, who was him? Where was he?
Who was him?
It seems like a bit of a swept under the rug sort of thing. Like, yeah, he's dead, and let's move on.
Yeah.
I think that the death of Qui-Gon Jinn, spoiler alert, kind of
a little bit.
No, it's Qui-Gon's noble end.
Yeah, they had to find somewhere to go burn the body in front of all the people so they could watch. Just still find really wrong.
And now his watch must end.
Come on, Anakin, you're 9 years old. Let's go watch this man's body burn. Come on.
Yep. This has happened to you once. Well, twice.
Yeah. You're going to see how it is to be crispy.
Yep. And when you have Duel of Fates, it is actually just saying crispy Anakin, crispy Anakin, crispy Anakin.
I love how his stern look blowing in the wind as he watches over the river.
Yeah.
It's always felt like a reshoot to me for the way it's shot. Obi-Wan Anakin looks... Obi-Wan Later, I said the right name first time. Looks like he's put a little bit of weight there and changed, and the hair doesn't quite look right.
Yeah.
Feels reshooty to me.
Maybe.
This would have been before Moulin Rouge, wouldn't it?
That looks to be a matte painting in the background.
Probably is.
Did they use the matte paintings in this movie at all? Or was it all digital? I guess it could be a digital matte painting.
Well, if they're on location, they probably boarded the setup, right?
It would have all been. Well, this is all inside, especially where it's the water. It's all inside.
Yeah. It's all studio. Although, to be fair, though, for episode 7, they did that for the forest, and it looks incredible.
I love when you get the city place. There's about 6 Gungans there from a whole city. Plus the smell from all those amphibians, you'd definitely find them.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like dirty pond water.
Droids have no nostrils. It's fine. But it would be a little bit fishy, yeah.
I love the Padme reveal that we get shortly.
Yeah.
I love Captain Tarful.
Yep. I love the battle dress yet still massive hair look.
Just tied it up.
Yeah.
I kind of see this now. I've been playing a lot of the Lego Saga Saga on Star Wars Lego, on the Xbox after George the other day before I was playing on it, and you just see these certain scenes now. You go, oh, you go on there on it. It's nice to see. It was so well done, that game, as to the stages.
Bombard. Yeah. No, I love the Lego, so I'm waiting for them to kind of do a whole remaster of the lot. And now the reveal. I love this, like, and who are you then?
What?
Say what? She looks pissed as well, going, now you
Kieran
know
Knightley's
my
angry.
job. Like,
Yeah, she
Qui-
really is.
Qui-Gon's there like, I've embarrassed myself. Anakin's there like, she's a queen.
yeah,
Get
just
in.
say what?
I'm gonna be in the money.
The most pointless thing is look at the Gungans talking behind Boss Nass.
Yeah.
I always just look back and just look how bizarre they are.
It's how many digital?
This is the line. This is the line I really don't like. That no, I beg you to help
No.
us.
He's like, yes, play to my arrogance, play to my aggression. Come on, beg.
I think now there's so many digital characters on screen, and yet it's still that still held up quite well. When Jar Jar kneels, it goes a little bit off.
Here's a question:
It's more hidden when there's many of them. Sorry, go on, George.
Would you, if Disney could remaster this, would you want them to like put like mega money in, as in remaster, as in fully re-render Gungans?
Yes.
Tech?
Yes, if they're gonna do it properly.
If they're going to do, but it's kind of it's a tough thing because you get
what the same for Yoda. If you're gonna do the same for Yoda.
Yeah,
like
like how good Yoda looks, because they improved like the DVD quality to the Blu-ray, and they did redo some of the CGI, particularly like Watto, the skin tones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel that if they really wanted to, like, put a bit, because Lucas would have maybe, if he could, deep down before he changes the scripts. I feel as if that could be very interesting. I feel that we are going to get the 4K box set post episode 9.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. We're going to 9 movie 4K. Every bell and whistle they can give you will be on that set.
Yep.
But going back to that, as you say, the CG for everything. I think it'd be an interesting thing for Disney to go back and but painstakingly, if they did one thing, I want them to go right through the full.
Yeah, I reckon though, if they are doing a 4K release, I reckon you won't get it next year. Like for Christmas, you'll have 9 come out. A few months later, you had the Blu-ray. I reckon you'll then get a Blu-ray set of 7, 8, 9, and then you'll get a 4K set to give them time to do the remaster because they've only just got the Fox license and may not been able to have access to be able to do it.
It's already ready. Like Gareth Edwards said, didn't he, that he said like 3 years ago, I saw Rogue One not Rogue One, sorry, he saw A New Hope in 4K. Yeah. Like they've been sitting there with. If you work at Lucasfilm, like you just know they've done everything there is to do already.
Yeah,
and they're just sitting on their money, like maybe we'll release. It's like they finished the 3D conversions on 2 and 3.
Yeah,
but they only showed it at Celebration in Anaheim.
Yeah, 2 got shown, didn't it? Yeah.
I do wonder if we'll get a 3D release of 1, 2, 3.
I think we will now.
I think now that 3D's gone, well, not gone, but pretty much dead.
Right, yeah. Only some big movies come out with it. Like you'll see Avengers Endgame will certainly be in. There'll be a 3D Blu-ray in the Steelbook release, isn't it? It's not really a 3D and includes 2D.
Now it all seems to be flocking back to cinemas for like a 4K release, and it's not noticeably different on 4K if you've got Blu-rays. If you've got a film like this, unless they've spent so long to remaster it, you get like, Alien 4th Anniversary 4K. It's like, no, they're the typical. They pressed the button and done it.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought Disney might have an announcement today. That maybe something they said on social media that they're going to be celebrating episode 1 all month. I hope there's some form of announcement.
But nothing out yet. No. It might come later if it's over in the States. Obviously, they are a little bit behind us, so depending on where they're basing that, up to 8 hours behind us. So we might get something a little bit later over on Twitter or some social media.
Yeah,
it'd be nice if they had something. I wish they would have re-released.
Well, they are a bit. To be fair, they are quite a bit. The official release is always quite a bit behind the rumors. Like we've only just had the official announcement for the films for 2022, 2024, 2026.
Oh, and here we go. This is the first shot in the trailer that we've done as well.
It was. Yeah. I loved it. It's a great shot.
It's that use of all this new sound that you wouldn't have had before, the didgeridoo sound and this March of War for the Gungans.
I still love starting up the shields. It's still one of my favorite quotes from episode 1.
It's a cool technology as well. They bounce through and they were.
The problem is here that you can really, on that large shot, that you can really tell the CG hasn't aged well.
I think it's when the droids come through, or
it's on the full bodies. Whenever you've got anything close up that are great, it's more the full body stuff that's. That's why, and it'd probably be cheaper to do them up as well.
Yeah.
Like the close-ups are where the expensive CG budget comes in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Here is your Windows 2000 screensaver.
Definitely. Absolutely.
This is my memories of the Legos. Did you ever get like the
Yeah.
Lego AATs? It'd have like the pictures at the top of
Yeah.
each page.
I love the sound effects for it though.
I love the droid. I love just the AATs are just quality.
Yeah.
It's such a cool technology that they just
The
have
fact
there.
that they made the tanks as well here was just incredible.
See, I used to have a kid have Captain Panaka's gun, but it had a mini screen on the back. You'd actually play a little game.
Nice.
Like batteries in, and I
I had
that.
the pod racer little game. I had that one.
It's such good. I wish I was this age when that Phantom Menace come out. Like,
Right.
I
also
could-
love how they kind of draw them off, yet they have something that can one-shot a tank. They're just like, nope, just going to retreat now. It's fine. Draw them off. Or you can just go to the corner, just go one-shot tank, one-shot tank, one-shot tank, done.
It's bizarre to see some of these battle droid shots, and Battlefront 2 is probably looks better.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love the random emojis in the corner.
Yeah, just
What are we doing here?
They're never spoken of or seen again. That's it. They're just in that little background shot.
Yep. Of course, Padme now just being a boss, walking around going, nah, I got this. Astromech's already loaded, accordingly.
This is one of my favorite deaths in Star Wars history.
The one that
Oh,
gets
what,
shot going out the hangar.
The tank just one-shotting one, yep.
Like, oh, we let that silver ship escape. Let's not do it again.
Yeah.
And the Wilhelm scream.
Wilhelm
Wilhelm
Scream,
Scream.
the obligatory one, which we no longer have.
They said there's a new death scream, but no one knows which it is yet.
Yeah, it's
It's that.
Here we go, one-shot it, straight into the engine,
Think,
straight
there's
down.
someone's house. It could
it's
have
just
landed.
down there.
Yep.
I love the design of the B1 fighters.
They are beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, the N1s. The N1s are cool.
Bravo Squad. And Celia Imrie is just randomly in Star Wars.
Yeah.
What would be our first look at a female pilot in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yes. No. A-Wing pilot in episode 6.
Not sure.
No, I don't think there was.
No, I think
I
that's-
remember the Asian fighter.
Yeah. Although technically now we have Nora Wexley in one of the Y-Wings in episode 6. That is canon. So you do technically see her without actually seeing her face. But that's me being, again, really, really canonically
Yeah, it is, Phil.
specific.
doesn't count right now, okay?
It does.
One of
Now,
the
This is
here-
also my
greatest.
favourite scene as well. Just the, all right then, here's just the troops coming out.
The
Flatback-
music,
The
sound
IKEA
effects.
droids. The flatback droids.
I love these, yeah. The shields boosting up Wakanda forever.
Yeah. This is the IKEA droids.
The CG is as good as Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I love the deleted scene from Attack of the Clones where they took out the Trade Federation ships because they thought it'd stop all the droids, and they
Yeah.
realized it was a waste of all their time.
Yeah.
Also,
Great.
the fact that Steven Spielberg kind of accidentally broke one of the B1s.
When he's on another being documentary, takes the
Yeah.
arm like, nope.
Yep. That sound, that clanking sound, is just brilliant. I love it.
I love how they struggle to get through the little goo.
Yeah, it adds that extra bit, doesn't it? It's
It does.
Although I did wish some Gungans had guns. Like, come on, guys. Like, I know they did the Ewoks with the spears. Electrical EMPs are a bit.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like
but
it's
specific.
exactly like Warwick from Wicket. Sorry, from.
Yeah, spins it around and catches himself.
But he puts a hole in his defense, man, and they fire through that the second they see that gap. But I love this, just the blue going everywhere and it's taking like 10 out of time.
Yeah.
And now we're about to get our big reveal of Maul and the double-sided lightsaber as well.
And of course, Jewel of the Fates.
Qui-Gon's last ever words to him: "Stay in that cockpit."
Says, stay in the cockpit. Nope. Done. This, just right here.
Awesome.
See Captain Kirk like jump backwards as well when he says
It's like, oh, what?
But it's even better. Qui-Gon's like, "We'll handle this."
Yep.
Like he's
They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
nope. You can have that. We're just like, no.
We want none of it, yeah.
Yeah.
His design is so good.
It's so cool. So iconic. Droidicas! Who doesn't love Droidicas?
I love that in episode 3 they had to say, look, shut down all droid units because, to be honest, these droidicas are really excellent and you probably shouldn't have them in future films. It's that, yeah. Oh.
It's so cool! All these years later, it's just, love it. And then
the music Duel of Fate, honestly, when it kicks in, it's just one of those pieces of music that it was so un-Star Wars to have that chorusy, choiry feel, but it's just so iconic. Doesn't know where the trigger is yet. He gets a hold of the steering panel with a trigger in it. Yeah. Nope, of course it's not. It doesn't look like a trigger either, Anakin. It's this one that you've grabbed just there with the trigger on it.
Boom, boom.
God, imagine the whole he flies out. The AAT tank on the corner.
It's this one as well.
Directed by George Lucas.
Credits.
I love the fact that Ray Park is in twice.
Yeah, he's in one shot, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Absolutely stunning.
I love how he opens the door.
Yeah, just throws the thing,
Just casual. It's just brilliant.
You
The
forget how young
fact that
Ray Park was as well.
they now have Ray Park back to do this in mocap for the Clone Wars is just awesome.
Because I'm intrigued to hear because he's got to be in his prime for Clone Wars, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ray Park, he's in great shape still, and he can still do the moves. I'm intrigued.
He's also one of the loveliest guys you'll ever meet.
I love the 3 shots. That's like their iconic shot.
Yep. And that's like anything you can do, we can do better.
To be honest, they're kind of outpowered throughout it until Obi-Wan gets his rage on after Qui-Gon goes down.
And then he's the king of the low ground.
He did get the high ground for approximately 0.3 seconds.
Yeah, as he came over the top,
We'll get onto the high ground, low ground bit later, just because I want to enjoy this particular part of Anakin just going, look, there they are. Oh, that's a real slow realization of we're screwed.
I just have the going to get annihilated the second the droidicas turn up.
Yeah.
They're just
The droidicars are far too good at design. Honestly, they're just like these killing machines.
Yep.
See, I never minded this.
I love this. I think it's hilarious.
People hate it, but I don't mind this. The bit where he just jumps over, he like works out how to use it.
It's this one here. It's the
the gun that like jumps on it after.
Yep.
Now, does anyone ever play Naboo Starfighter game?
Yeah.
Fond memories.
Awesome.
Oh, there goes John Knoll.
Yep. He couldn't take on the Trade Federation, but he could take on the Death Star.
Just again, I can't believe the pace that we've gotten to.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely flying through this movie. As I say, what we said earlier, it just gets this towards this end part of Naboo, and we're skipping through this story now so quickly to get towards the end.
Oh, the shots are just incredible. This is what holds up, though. This is where the money's been spent. All the model shots that have been just slightly touched up are just incredible.
Like father,
That's
like
just
grandson.
spinning!
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
That's one of my favourite parts, and that's just when Kylo starts spinning.
Spinning round, yep. It stayed in the family.
It did.
Oh, here's Ray Park's bit coming up.
Yep. Well, he's in this scene, and then he's also on the outside bit as well. He's in the background, just there, somewhere.
There. On the right.
Yep. Yep. There's Darth Maul.
I love this where they all go up the side of the building, and obviously it's been moved so to time them all together. They're still out of sync by quite some way, all of them.
Yep.
I love the little twitching of the legs from Panaka. I remember that.
Yep.
I don't know why when I was younger I used to always laugh.
Padme being an absolute boss.
Also, I used to always think there's a statue of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Also, like how she's gone from Padme's gone from her small gun to a large gun.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yep.
It's such the design of the room, and obviously because this now it's all green screen, well, blue screen. Back then, all of this obviously little set pieces there, but nothing else is there.
Yeah.
The background plates for this all stand up, those electronic vents or towers, whatever they are.
Yeah. There's always a power generator somewhere for someone to fall
There has to
into.
be, yeah. We always get to the center of whatever we're at.
Yep. Someone must be able to fall off something, or it isn't the
I
start of the
love
fight.
how the ray shields are programmed even in that shot before.
Yeah.
Like you see them moving, like way before you see them continuing with it.
Where's the force speed now?
That's the one thing I didn't like on the Blu-ray was the random force speed at the start. I mean, he's still running pretty quick, to be fair to him.
I love this moment where Maul is raging behind the door, behind the
That he can't get to
yeah.
him.
But then Qui-Gon just goes into that, right, I'm just going to meditate on it a second. And do you think that Qui-Gon knows the end is coming for him?
I think
so.
Qui-Gon knows he's
You
not
have to
coming
understand,
back.
though, or realize now that this is the point where Kylo will just be hacking at the wall going, oh, it's not fair!
I mean, could he have took out the ray shield if he'd gone for the generator part?
Yeah, that's the
No,
moment I think
no.
Qui-Gon now goes, right, I accept what's going to happen and how this has to play out.
Yeah.
I think Qui-Gon was a lot more in tune with the Force than we're kind of let on until obviously we know that he's the first to kind of talk to Yoda again. I think at that moment, he's fully aware of how things will play out and he has to then not be sacrificed, but...
He's got to take more one-on-one. He knows that he's not going to survive.
I do quite like this where he just lets everything out. He's basically fighting by not fighting, but
I love the little ear, like when he just flicks it.
Yep.
But the sound effects leave on the balls.
yeah. So stupid.
It's stupid, but sometimes brilliant. What should you go to the tank? But nope, denied.
I have Captain
The
Talbot.
Gungans that are running up the
I've always
hill
gave you.
all run exactly the same. They're obviously on exactly the same program.
It's all
Yeah.
the CGI is worse when they're on the tank.
Yeah.
It's this bit when it cuts to the long shot. I always used to laugh at. You'll just see them all like they just steer a direction.
Yep. That bit annoyed me. There's the very convenient straight into the chest.
Let's look at how they run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly
that-
the same. Yeah.
It's exactly the same. It's all kind of rigid, but
And we also get the droid with 1138 on its back as well. When
yeah. No, the thing is, though, they don't put the shields up, so why didn't they just blast them?
Padme constantly finds herself surrounded by droidicars and battle droids. Episode 2 in the
Aggressive
droid
negotiation.
factory. Yeah, she finds herself again surrounded by them.
Yeah.
And
More
Jango Fett at
spinning.
that point.
The fact that again, Mace just, of course, has his lightsaber against Django's throat. It doesn't click. It's like, hang on a second, you're our clones. Wait, what? No one twigs. Brilliant.
His head fell pretty far away from.
No, it's before that. It's
No, he is up on the top, isn't he? Yeah.
Party's over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like he was in the room. He's looking for the trigger again. I just love this. This pacing, the Maul just watching him.
But Obi-Wan senses it before, and then it's just, yeah.
I like Obi-Wan just.
This is
He
where
knows he's. I think
this is
Obi-Wan
what
probably
irritates me
knows as well
right
that Qui-Gon wouldn't make it if he's not there.
Yeah.
right there, you know, it's gone.
It's the sound. It's the lack of soundtrack. And then tying into Rebels as well. Maul knows he's going to do him as well.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, Maul's worked out where this play's like, nope.
But
Spinny. Yeah.
What a moment.
Yep.
it's Maul straight to Obi-Wan after as well.
Yeah, it was literally the turn. He's already facing ready from coming through.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful moment. Look at that rage on Obi-Wan. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's so smug as well. Ah.
Where are these little medical droids appeared from?
They were there earlier.
Just hanging
Yeah,
they
but,
were
yeah,
still
but
fighting.
they
all had
randomly
guns.
appeared.
They're probably in the back of the trucks.
Yeah. And then 1138.
I love how naive as well they are in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a. This is like 18 Plan 101.
And Your Highness.
and this points the bed in the sadness. They like elaborate on every word.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, that's
She's
the
like-
queen.
this one's
She's
like-
got makeup on.
Yeah.
I love when they trap them in. Like, watch the two guys in a minute try and run to get to the same door. That's what I always laughed at when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's so random, but it's so funny. I love how like pathetic they are. They're just standing in the middle, like, oh no. Here you go. This bit. If you're on the same bit as me now.
Yeah. He was like, I want, I'm there.
It's
No,
one of them just really like, random things. Oh, yeah.
it's
It's main event
It's
time.
Obi-Wan playing it very well, having to. He's got his he's angry, but he's going to try and control it.
This is the best choreography in all of Star Wars.
It's awesome.
This.
It's close between this and him and Anakin in Episode 3.
No, but like the fast-paced, pure anger. I'm trying to bloody kill you.
Yeah.
Snaps it in half. Maul did not see that bit coming either.
No, but what I like there's more than still uses the single blade as almost a double end. It's like half of it. He's not quite sure what to do without a double-ended one.
Still knows how to use it though.
Oh yeah.
He's like taunting.
Was arrogance. He's a Sith. That's what he does.
He's obviously not being taught everything though, because he's got the force push there. But at that point, a bit of force lightning, and this is all over credits. So it's obviously he's still not fully taught everything. Oh, that lightsaber is beautiful.
I never
I
liked
love that
Qui-Gon's lightsaber.
No, it's too plain, just that straight.
Boring.
Yeah, I love Obi-Wan's Episode 1 saber. I love the design.
There's the spiky bottom bits I remember having
It
them.
is the spiky bottom bit on the ball. Yeah, it's. Oh, found the trigger again. I just happened to fire off the ion cannon. I mean, that's just, you can see that's a prop, an actual.
Oh yeah.
I love that all the emojis are there like, what? And then you got like when it gets to the pilot, he's like, "We did it." I'm like, "Eh."
No. Now this is pod racing. Everyone loves that.
How did he even see him coming out?
Yeah. How close were they to that
It's
ship?
just a different angle.
God, could you imagine if I'd love to see it when they landed? Imagine all of them get out and think, "Who's this person?"
And this 9-year-old boy walks
Yeah.
around.
Just
Like,
like
I bet they're like, "What?"
that's the swagger walk of like, what up? I just saved your ass.
They all broken.
1138. Pushovers.
I love how the Gungans also knew that the ship had
But-
been destroyed. Suddenly, like, yeah, we
I
know
don't get why his head falls off.
that. Because broken.
There was a film I saw recently that did that. I'm trying to remember what it was. I love here. What's his game plan? Is he-
It's
Spark of
also
the death.
right.
Is he?
It's the sparks, but there's no marks on the floor.
I love how like his pimple like intensifies as well.
He's like, huh?
Striking.
Right. Here he is in the low ground.
Now he has the high ground.
Right.
Now.
Here's where he should have been. No, I'm sorry, but why didn't Maul just go whoosh, done?
Because Maul didn't think.
Yeah,
No.
look at that.
So
Also,
from-
look, no marks on the floor. He sparks.
And there
up,
it
no
is.
marks.
That's the end of Maul. We'll never ever see him again.
Except for a couple
When
of
his body
characters.
hit the ground, did he land on like a pillow or something?
There was a guy just at that point taking all the laundry through from.
Was drowning pool on at that particular time.
I love this moment.
Yeah.
Promise me you'll train the boy. He'll wipe out all Jedi. It's fine.
Would Anakin have turned if he'd have had Qui-Gon?
No.
No.
I don't think he would have turned. I think he'd have.
I think he would have branched off, maybe not like Ahsoka walked away from the Jedi. I think it would have been more that.
I think it would have been like the balance. He'd have took both light and dark.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan's another attachment, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is probably one of the worst CGI moments when this door opens and they come down the ramp, and it
Yeah.
looks like it's been done in the studio.
Yeah.
But you know, for watching this movie again, it's a 20, like Phil said, it was a 20-year-old movie. It really stands up, and this film for me has got much better with age.
You look at other films that came out in that period with CGI. This is
Yeah.
still better than it.
Mm.
It's more the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. It's the CGI and the things that don't need CGI that lets it down.
Yeah.
I love that all the Jedi randomly turn up like, hey, we're all going to Qui-Gon's funeral.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the body back to Coruscant. No, we'll just go there.
Let's just go there. Yeah, it was fancy day trip.
Yep.
Watch them with.
They were all on the same flight. All of the Jedi Masters with Darth Sidious. Let
and
that
not
sink in.
one could sense.
And
Yeah.
not one could sense it. No.
Do you think he was ever on edge? Darth is like, oh,
No.
if they get the second,
No, the arrogance.
Don't
That's
say the wrong thing.
No, that's the point of Sidious, though. It's the
don't
arrogance.
bring the lightsaber out my sleeve pocket.
Yeah.
Imagine like he just stood up and like the lightsaber falls out of his sleeve. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
There's a fake cough while trying to pick it up.
The CGI is great on Yoda for this.
I do love this scene with Obi-Wan and Yoda, yeah, where he tells him he doesn't want him to train him, but he's going to let him anyway.
Yeah. I still prefer the puppet, but that's just a personal preference, I guess. I always prefer real props over CG.
And obviously, they've now returned to that, and the sequel trilogy as well, which is a really nice return as well. That
Yeah.
Yoda in Episode 8 is I love that
stunning.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that you not love that line.
Mm.
For Qui-Gon's defiance, that he knew it was gonna come anyway. He knew Qui-Gon was going to lead someone astray eventually. But maybe that's come from Dooku because Dooku left.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I still need to listen to Dooku Jedi Lost, but I'll get around to that at some point.
They've announced it's going to be a paperback, didn't they?
And they have. I will get it at some point, but I want to get.
There we go. We're all going to stand around and watch this man's body burn, not closed off at all.
Nope.
It's great music.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It really is. See this? This will be you one day. Well, twice.
What will happen to me now? First, I'll cut off your arms, burn your legs.
Then you will get burned. You'll be
You will
Jedi,
be.
promise.
And then this was the moment that it's no doubt the Sith are back and
Yep.
Master and Apprentice, but who was it?
Yeah.
So your Palpatine's listening to him.
Yeah, I love that
boy.
cut when it now cuts from the two Yoda and Mace
Master,
Windu,
Apprentice.
and
Who
we
was
cut
good?
the last shot is Palpatine before we get to the celebration.
It lingers on his nose for the Darth Sidious side on.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a Darth Sidious side on.
You always expect a slight little curl there.
That's what I don't like is going from the whole here's a sad funeral to what
Yeah.
hey parade.
Seems such a weird thing to give someone a ball of light as well at the end of this.
It's great music. I think David Collins at Celebration said that if you
It's got
it's got the Emperor's theme in
Emperor's
this.
themes in it, yeah.
Also, look at the flag bearers at the front. They all have the exact same animation.
Yeah. And I love the sexy eyes that Anakin gives to Padme at the end of this as well. This
Is there
child
like
one.
just fresh trim?
Fresh trim.
I love how like between the funeral and that, there's like we're just gonna give you a haircut and put the little plait on your head.
Yep.
Yaddle, pathetic. I love Blastas. He knows he's got the crowd.
Yeah.
He's working it.
C.A. Bibble's that like
Absolute-
what on earth has happened to our country? You just know that C.A. Bibble's a massive racist.
He's a
You know
massive
he just
Brexit
hates.
fan, yeah.
You just know he hated all the Gungans. Look at him.
And of course, he has the last line.
And take your Jar Jar.
Here comes the look.
Technically, Jar Jar.
There it
Yahoo!
is. Ah, yeah.
What up? What
She's there
up?
like crazy kid. Then 10 years later, it's like I thought about it every day. She's like, oh sugar.
Yes, good call. Ladies and
then-
gents.
Yo, that has gone much faster than I anticipated. And I was thinking throughout. We have sat here, we've enjoyed it, we've watched it, we've talked about it. There's not been 1 ounce of hate, not 1 ounce of just saltiness. It's been enjoyable.
I really
And this,
We're
is what,
celebrating.
and this is what Star Wars should be. This is really what Star Wars should be.
It's the 20th anniversary of this film. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's come down to the point where even I've seen people that disliked them and now like them, and whether they've
The
had a
problem
different
is, it's
opinion
now
or-
popular to like him compared to the
It's yeah,
sequels.
that's the other thing. Like people that liked these would have hidden in denial of liking them when everyone else didn't,
Mm.
and now it's magic. Oh no, I did like it all along. It's like, did you though? Were you
Yeah.
ashamed to admit you liked them?
I
Well,
I've
something-
certainly changed from my opinions from where I was not a big fan, but certainly I say over as
Right.
I've gotten older, that my enjoyment of this
Yeah.
movie is much bigger now. I loved watching that. There is probably one of my favorite times watching it. It's grown on me as a
Mine
movie.
was. I will tell you this for a very big fact. I have this clear in my mind. So that's in my lectures at university, and we were talking about Star Wars. And I was belittled by my lecturer for liking the prequels. Not by my lecturer, by a couple of people as well. They're like, "How can you like them?" Yeah, the good Star Wars movies here is in 4, 5, and 6. And I've got a friend of mine who only likes 4 and 5 for some insane reason. But no, I got actually belittled for liking 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, they're good. The originals were so great that people just didn't like the prequels, didn't live up to the hype. They had the comedy accent, but I'm sorry, but I've always loved them. And for me, it is now one of those bits where you go, no, I liked them before. It was cool, kind of almost a hipster kind of look at it, but it's not. It's just you just be a fan of Star Wars. It's not anyone in or anything in particular of just no, I love the prequels over the sequels, or I love the original over everything else. It's no, they're just good films.
So overall thoughts now on this movie at 20 years old?
Yes.
Is it still
I love,
now?
sorry, in the credits here, Jabba the Hutt himself.
Yeah, himself. Yeah, R2 I think is the same as well as himself. But for me, this movie came on leaps and bounds as I've grown older, and I grew to appreciate it more. And it really does deserve its place as the start of this overall saga. I think it's played out really well character-wise.
Yeah.
There are some moments still for me that don't play very well, but that's just a personal feeling on the way it's acting out. But I think it's a really good setup, and I really hope we get some mirroring of this movie in episode 9 as we close out the Skywalker saga.
I think we will.
I like the fact that people have come back to it, and when Disney took over, very much, I would argue, the first 3-4 years, it was very much not that they didn't reference the prequels or do anything. It was like, we're just going to focus on getting the original trilogy stuff up and running, filling in gaps to push towards that, around that, surrounding that. And I feel that now, what it is, rather than taking over, going straight away, we like the prequels, here, have some stories, merch, they've waited, and by the time that they've probably said thinking, we've done as much as we can with the original trilogy right now, because we can't do too much currently for the sequel trilogy in terms of the gap between 6 and 7. We're now going to go back to the prequels while it's the anniversary, while we now realize that people do like that generation has grown up. I think Lucasfilm's found not acceptance, but they've finally been allowed to probably do some projects they wanted to do, but they couldn't have done.
Yeah.
Whereas you had George Lucas that was so far ahead, like, I'm going to do it. It's my films. I'll do what I want. Fair enough. And I feel that there's definitely more acceptance now. And I think as a company, Lucasfilm, they're not hiding from it compared to 5-6 years ago, because they know they're in a safer position with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely get that as well. So yeah, I think we, gentlemen, are done for the evening.
We are
indeed.
It's been fun. We've been celebrating the 20th year of this glorious film. It's going to be a terrifying day when they say it's the 40th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. I'm not ready for that. Maybe Natalie Portman will be at that celebration. You never know.
Oh, it could be a long time off, but yes, it's been actually really fun to sit down and watch again another Star Wars movie with you guys. I think we will try and get this more regularly. We'll try and do not just the regular shows, like we had the Lego Countdown, which is really good as well. So maybe just trying to mix the shows up, and we'll get a few more things in like that as well. So look out for a few more commentaries coming your way. We've got a lot more movies to cover, and even maybe some story arcs from things like Clone Wars, especially like the Mortis arc. I think it would be lovely to talk with these guys about.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Indeed. Oh, George, anything else to add before we go?
I don't really know. Go watch all the other prequel films.
Indeed. So, as per usual, thank you so much for joining us, especially for the special commentary. Don't forget, we have done a Rogue One commentary as well. You can find that on our channel. We're live every other week, 8 p.m. GMT. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Once the Force, a Star Wars podcast, or at the Force Podcast. And you can find the audio version of this later on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. There we go. I didn't also got the last one. We've Once the Force. May the Force be with you. Good night.